What up? What to do? It's your boy JDQ with the crew of Vision Eye View. And as y'all can tell, I do have a smirk on my face. I do have a smile on my face, and that's actually due to you guys. That's right, the all day, everyday viewer and supporter slash friend slash online YouTube community family member. That is yourself. That's right. If you find yourself in the live chat area, then just know that I hold you near and dear to my heart in some way, shape, or form. Yes, and I mean that genuinely. So, Jesus, Brother Red, of course, Rod Plum, uh, John, what's going on, John? And anyone and everyone else who at some point throughout the stream will be here joining us. Um, I gotta say, guys, I am impressed that any of you showed up. Not because I'm impressed that you would show up, but the lack of consistency that myself and the Vision Eye View TV crew hold is undisputed. And yet, still, you guys decide to give us a chance. You guys still decide to give us an opportunity to brighten your day. And dare I say it, brighten your night. But, I really am extremely grateful and thankful for you guys. You guys are great. Um, when I say thank you, I really do mean it from the bottom of my heart. And I say that on behalf of myself and my team. I cannot complain with the community that follows this channel and supports it, whether it be on consistently day after day after day, or if there's like a few days in between where there's a hiatus. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, we are grateful. We are grateful for you guys. So God bless every single one of you. Thanks for being here again for like the billionth time. We appreciate it. Now then, now that we got all the gratitude out the way, we have a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. So first things first, my prayers and sincerest, genuine condolences go out to the people. I'm pretty sure you guys are aware. I'm pretty sure I don't really have to, talk too much about it. But yeah. So I heard about this at some point yesterday. I heard about it. It was all over the feed, everywhere you looked. But yeah, a crowd of Halloween partiers in Seoul. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how I pronounce it. Turns into a horrific crush that kills 140 and injures another 150. It happened at a music festival in Houston, a soccer stadium in England, during a Hajj pilgrimage in Saudi Arabia, in a Chicago nightclub, and countless other gatherings. Large crowds surge toward exits onto playing fields or press up against the stage with force that people are literally squeezed to death. Yeah. So I mean, it was just giving you like a broad, like idea of what happened, and then of course the actual incident during Halloween festivities in the South Korean capital Seoul, where a crowd pushed forward the narrow street they were on, acting as a vice, leaving more than 140 people dead and 150 more injured. I want to round the 140 to like another 150. So 150 and 150 is like 300, probably around 300 people, pretty much either murdered or seriously, you know what I'm saying, injured. So my sincerest and most genuine condolences to the families who lost a loved one during that incident. Uh, and of course, for the ones who were seriously injured, we do hope and pray that you guys are, you know what I'm saying, like recovered ASAP. Um, and yeah, it says here, how do people die at these events? Well, I mean, you kind of already explained it in the in the above paragraph, but let's see. While movies that show crowds desperately try to flee suggest getting trampled might be the cause of most of the deaths, the reality is most people who die in a crowd search are suffocated. Suffocated. Okay. What can't be seen are forces so strong that they can bend steel. That means something as simple as drawing breath becomes impossible. People die standing up, and those who fall die because the bodies on top of them exert such pressure that breathing becomes impossible. I mean, I get what they're saying. I understand what they're saying, but I don't know. I don't know. I feel like if anything, they got, you know what I'm saying? And it's not a laughing matter. I'm not laughing about it, but I'm just saying, like, it's, if anything, I would opinionate, or my opinion would be that getting trampled alone, even if you still have breath, but you got people pretty much like crushing your ribs and all this other stuff, that might be also a strong reason why, maybe. Um, yeah, I kind of do remember hearing about that at a Liverpool game. You're right. Um, yeah, it sucks, right? Yeah, man, you are. You are indeed a online YouTube community family member. That's a mouthful, right? That's a mouthful. That's what she said. But yes, trust no one says that is terrible. I agree 1,000%. Um, but obviously, again, our prayers go out to the families who lost someone, whether it be a family member or a loved one or a friend or whatever the case may be. We do pray for the family, that Lord give them strength to go get past this, this terrible, terrible tragedy. And yeah. However, I want us to really think about what this might imply in the long run. Okay. I know some of you are already looking at me a little weird, like, well, what do you mean, DDQ? Well, um, incidents like this, whether it be like just a normal, what I'm saying, organic incident that might have happened, you know, just because, or whether it be orchestrated in some way, shape, or form. There's always, I feel, some type of agenda that is either put behind it on purpose or just later tied into incidents like this. You know what I mean? So I can't say exactly what agenda that would be at the moment, because I mean, I'd have to like really read everything carefully to dissect it and kind of like, give my 2 cents on it. But yeah, more than half the time that's the case. Um yeah, God bless you, trust no one. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. That happened years ago in Cincinnati. Yeah, I think, looking for this tragedy that happened yesterday, I actually came across similar incidents that have happened throughout the years, and I think the one that you just mentioned right now in Cincinnati is one of the ones that popped up. So, but yeah, it happened. Obviously, there's nothing we can do about it now, except for like praying for the family and seeing in what way, shape, or form we can like help. But yeah, I did want to bring this to y'all's attention. Um, but not everything is doom and gloom. I mean, yeah, that sucks that did happen, obviously. However, there's always some light at the end of the tunnel, right? And that light, in this case, if I can get this to load, let's see if I can get this to open. This is the back. I'm gonna have to go through these like one by one, I guess. All right, let's see which one I can bring up first. It's like all like the back sides of them. I'm trying to show you. It's not like that, okay? I'll show y'all what I mean in a second. Here we go. Okay. It's kind of sucks. I'm gonna have to. All right. So I want to try something different with you guys tonight. Hello, lovely My Lady Latin Lopez. Thank you for joining the stream. I appreciate it. Terrence Castaway, thanks for joining the stream. And everyone else who was starting to show up little by little. The team appreciates it, and of course I appreciate it. So to brighten things up a little bit, and I know this is not going to be like, whoa, like this is crazy good, man. This is extremely positive, hombre. No. It's not like that. I'm not going to like brighten your whole week with what I'm going to show you, versus what I just showed you with the massacre. but it is still good news. So bear with me. What I do want to try to kind of like lighten your spirits up a little bit is show you guys um, some scores, guys, some scores that I found at the comic book shop that I might potentially be flipping at the near future, whether it be days from now, weeks from now, whatever. Um, so check this out, y'all. This was an alarm box, baby. Okay, this was an alarm box, my friend. Just sitting there, just kind of like calling my name, Jorge, Jorge, buy me, buy me. And of course, I couldn't say no to the guy, man. I had to get my hands on it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, um, I actually got this for, I think, what, can't say if it was 15 or 12 bucks, something along those lines. Something along those lines. It was affordable to me. It wasn't that big of a deal. Especially once I knew right away that it was like a key issue. I kind of like had to, it's one of those, like, if I don't get it now, I'm gonna regret not getting it. Then if I see it online being sold for a higher price, I'm gonna be mad. So let me just grab my hands on it. So this is one of them. I have a few I want to show you guys, and of course I'm doing this in a wise way to kind of like kill some time or buy some time for myself while the rest of the squad shows up to the team stream. You know what I mean? So, I mean, this is just my way of wisely using the time to my advantage. And at the same time, get the word out that, yes, your boy will be flipping this soon. So, I don't know where Nightbot came out from again, man, because I could have sworn I took him out of the trusted members or whatever, the trusted community members. So I don't know why he's even up there, but just try to not, you know what I'm saying? Just be careful with the emojis, I guess. I don't know. Right, that sucks, bro. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. But the LCS near here, I mean, they I've been able to find some gems where I'm like, what? There's no way. How is this even in here? And then for the price that they had it. And on top of that, they're not even in that bad of shape. I was like legit surprised that they were like selling them at the prices they were selling them. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? You got to have poker face while you're in there. So I was just like, oh, like, I've been like looking this for a while. Why not? Why not get it now if I just saw it? So you know what I'm saying. So I kind of like had that whole like poker face thing going on with all the ones that you're gonna see right now. But that's definitely one of the first ones I wanted to show you guys. I want to make sure. I think I might have to leave this one for the last one, but nah, screw. I'm gonna show you guys anyways. I'm gonna show you all. All right. So I know Rod and Terrence might find this one appealing. All right, hold on. Let me stop and let me redo. Yeah, man, you gotta keep fishing, bro. You gotta keep fishing. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this, bro. Look at this. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time the Avengers face Doctor Doom in a comic book, bro. Bro, you know how much this cost me? You want to know how much this cost me? Go ahead. I'll let you guess. Go ahead. Take your time. I'll wait. Go ahead. I'll wait. Matter of fact, just type in whatever amount you think I paid for this when I got my hands on it. Five? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? And by the way, the dollar sign goes in the beginning. But no, I ain't spend no $500 on this. You crazy? Hell no, I ain't paying no $80 for this. Hell, pardon my French. I'm sorry. Heavens no. Heavens, I did not spend any of that. No. I spent about, I think, like $3. You were close. You were close. You were close, but no, I paid just $3 for this, man. Listen, I'm telling you, even if I were to show you the backside of it, honestly, it could be cleaned. It's not. First of all, it's not even that bad on the back. In the front is like really good. Okay, it's really well preserved in the front, and then the back it just has like a little bit of areas where it could be kind of like cleaned up and like use like one of those clear erasers on it or whatever. And you damn right, I ain't gonna spend no $500 on that. You crazy? Hell no. I'm trying to flip this for 500. I'm over here trying to flip it for 100 for 500. She's like, no, you spent 500. Hell no. What's wrong with you? So that's the second one. All right. But wait, there's more. So check this out. Let's see if I can't go back to the images. Let me see. I just gotta be careful because they're all mixed up. They're like literally all mixed up here. I don't even know. Showed you the annual one. Let's show y'all the number one, I guess. Yeah, let's show y'all this one. This one's pretty dope. I'm not a huge fan of the cover per se, because I don't know. I feel like, it's alright, but it doesn't blow me away like other covers have. So hold on. John said, Jorge is not going to spend that. You damn right I'm not going to spend that. All right, so check this one out, y'all. This one's in really, really, really good condition. Because of that, I actually ended up paying like $20 for it. So that's like one of the ones that was like, ugh, ugh. This one and number two. This is part one of a two-part series, as it says here, in a 2-issue limited series. So this is issue number one, and I'll show you guys issue number two. But they're in like really, really, really good condition. So that's why I didn't feel too terrible to like have to pay like $20 for it. I mean, it's okay. I kind of get the whole dynamic, you know what I'm saying, of showing how huge Galactus is. I get it. And that part is like, like, okay, they're just trying to show his strength. They're trying to show him off or whatever. But I don't know. I feel like it feels kind of flat to me. Like, I don't know if it's like lack of color. I don't know if it's like they should have kind of like put a more like a darker background so it could kind of like look like more like space or like what people would deem to be like galaxies or whatever, but it just looking like gray and it just feels flat to me. You know what I mean? Obviously the image this is a scanned image, by the way. So I get that the colors aren't popping as much as they would be if you were to hold it in front of you. But still, even then, even when you do have it in front of you, this right here, is, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it just feels a little flat. What's the other one I want to show you guys? Let's see. So that was number one. I think I like the cover on number two a little better. Let's see if I'm right. Let's see. Actually, no. Between number one and two, the first one looks better, but then the annual one looks even better than both of these two that I was just showing you guys right now. But here, let me just show you all this one. Oh, Galactus and Alex, I think they deserve each other. Wrong one. Sorry. I apologize. Let me go back here. I hate when I get confused. Okay, there we go. That's the one. Okay, so that's number two in the two-part limited series. Same thing with this one, man. I feel like the colors were like flat. Again, I understand that when you scan in the images, it takes away some of that strength in the colors and all that, the sharpness of them. But still, I feel like even if I had it in front of me, I'd still be like, it could have been like more saturated. You know what I mean? It just looks a little dull. But you know what I'm saying? Like these are the colors from back in the day. This says 1989. So the one before it, 1989. And the other one that I showed you guys earlier, let's see if I can see it. Also 1989, but just February of 1989. So, um, yeah. Okay. So let me take that out. That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. Yep. I always prefer the rare alternate covers. You know what's crazy? Back then, even in those years, it wasn't as common to find alternate or like variant covers. It was a thing kind of, but not as heavily as it is nowadays. Um, but yeah, yeah. The purple is the purple is popping like it's meant to be. Yeah, yeah, and even more so if you have it at hand. But I don't know. I don't know if it's like just because I scanned it that it just looks, you know what I'm saying, like dull to me or whatever. But I hear you. It still does pop, like for sure. I'm not gonna argue that. That's a fact. Where's the other one I want to show you guys? So I showed y'all the Avengers one. I showed y'all the Silver Surfer one. Okay, now I think it's this one. All right, so this one I'm about to show you guys. The scanner did not do it any justice because, well, y'all gonna see it right now. Y'all gonna see it right now. Watch. Where are you? Okay, here we go. All right, so this looks like dark gray or whatever, but it's actually like metallic. I can't really help how it looks here because it was like scanned in, but all this is embossed metallic chrome looking or whatever. It does not look dark gray like it does here. So imagine if all this was like straight up like platinum looking, all this right here, her suit, the title and all that, this right here just embossed metallic. I mean, I'm a fan of that type of coverage because it's different. You know what I'm saying? And they really made it pop. And obviously, in her case, it helps because you know what I'm saying. Like her actual suit is pretty much like that. So okay. Um. Okay. That's understandable. Like that's what I'm saying though, bro. Like that's exactly what I'm saying. Like nowadays, well, you already know like the story behind the Spider-Man Deadpool series that I collect. Dude, they got I think like 14 different variant covers for just issue number 1 on the series that I collect. That's what's made me like take forever to like finish the actual like run. Cuz it's like I'm a bit of a completionist. So when you have 10 plus variant or additional covers or whatever, like you got me. Like I'm going to end up getting every single one of them. It's going to take me time because there's moments where if I'm doing well financially, I'm okay with spending a certain amount for a variant cover. I have my limits. I don't go, you know what I'm saying? I don't really go be paying like top dollar for them. But sometimes they'll be like 25 bucks, 30 or whatever. 50 bucks. Like if I'm doing okay financially, all right, I don't mind that. But that's not the case all the time though. So like when you come across these like additional covers or variant covers or whatever, um, they're like selling for like those prices, and it's like, come on, man, like, like I get it, I understand, like the rarity, exclusivity, and all that, the scarcity. That's what I'm saying. Get your money, but not for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we definitely do. One of these days, we'll definitely do a comic panel for sure. Um, Dude, I was looking this series up yesterday. I was like, all right, if I get into Secret Invasion and Secret Wars, because I would love to get my hands on those two series. Um, and correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong here. Oh, okay. No. I wanna try to collect those two series plus the Scrolls series, which is I think eventually what leads up to Secret Invasion or Secret Wars or whatever. Not Secret Invasion. Man, I forget the title of these series sometimes because there's so many of them. But I found out I was not aware of this. I did not know. I was not aware because I've never been really a huge Fantastic Four guy. But apparently, issues number 2 and 3 they deal with the scrolls. It's like the first time the scrolls are mentioned in comic continuity. So I was looking up like how much those 2 issues like cost, and even in raw copies, sometimes they be selling for like over 60 something dollars or something like that, and in really bad condition. So it's like I want to get my hands on them just for the sake of like um speculation and all that. Because again, I don't really care too much for the Fantastic Four. That they're okay, but I'm not like like a fanboy of them. So if I could like take those, because it's Fantastic Four issue number 2 and 3. If I could take those at an affordable price, meaning to me anything below $20, and flip it for like you know whatever triple or like 5 times like the price, whenever the scrolls keep coming up in the movies or whatever, I probably take that and run. So Secret Invasion was about the scrolls. Okay. So then I would be correct to assume and speculate on trying to get those two then. Defenders, Defenders, uh, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. Who else was on that team, bro? Help me out. Help me out there. Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. Was it only just four, or was there more people on that team? Refresh my memory. And while you do, I'm gonna keep showing y'all one last one that I found that I was like, hey man, listen, if I don't get this now, like I'm never gonna find it again. So let me show y'all what I mean. Um, where are you? No, not Bruce Lee. Oh Lord. Okay. Avengers. Okay, here we go. It's the backside. Okay, here we go. Sucks. I'm gonna have to delete all these images off the computer after I'm done showing you guys. It's gonna suck. There's not a lot of them, but still. All right, this is the last cover I'm gonna show you guys. Oh, the one. Okay, the ones from the '70s. Got you. See, I was unaware that there was even a different Defenders team from the '70s. I was not aware of that. So Doctor Strange, Hawkeye, and Hulk. Okay. Recommend Avengers versus Defenders. Okay, I'll definitely look into that. That does actually sound interesting because it sounds like um it kind of sounds like something that might be what they tried to do like in the last Doctor Strange movie where he faced up the Illuminati or whatever, and he was like against them or whatever. So that it'd be interesting to read on that one. um Here, let's show you guys this last one. Boom. Now I'm not sure, don't quote me, okay, don't take my word for it, but I do believe this might possibly be either the first Hobgoblin appearance in comics or the first time Hobgoblin is in this specific series of Spider-Man run. It's one of those two. But bro, look at that. This looks better than the animated series. And don't get me wrong. Listen, I grew up on the one with the animated series, but look at this. Let's do a close up on his face. Mind you, I'm not with the whole like demonic looking faces, but I'm just saying like the details. You know what I mean? Like the details are there. So that can't be denied. You know what I mean? Art is art. Um, but yeah, so that will conclude. That is right. That's what I was, man. Listen, I'm gonna be flipping this one, but I know I'm gonna hate flipping this one because like I like it. I like the cover, man. Like it's a dope cover. I mean, it reminds you of the animated series one. You know, like when they're fighting in the air or whatever, and he's like pretty much trying to get him off of his glider. Like, come on, man. Yeah, it is. In my opinion, it is, and I'm gonna have a hard time letting it go, bro. Like, it's gonna suck. But if hey, listen, if it can help me out financially, then why? So be it. It is what it is. To call you that, I like that. I like that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You have to. This, you know what I'm saying? Look, a lot of people like to throw shade on cartoons and comic books and all that, and they're like, oh, that's not art. And I'm like, I'm over here like this, like, not art. Hmm. It has color. It has definition in the characters. The characters have form and shape. There's scale to the characters. There's scale to the background. There's a city in the background. That took perspective to like really like draw, and then you know what I'm saying, like make sure the the defining measurements of between the city and the character are correct. The facial features, that's also right. You know what I'm saying? I could go on and on about like why comic books are a huge representation of what art is. Um, so much goes into it, man. It's crazy. Listen, ain't nothing wrong. Listen, I think I'll still be like 70 years old. I will still sit down and probably watch the first season, second season, third season SpongeBob episode. You know what I'm saying? If something is funny, it's funny. Something doesn't stop being funny just because you grow up. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you mature or whatever, but again, if if the joke still carries over and you even snicker even a little bit, then you know what I'm saying? It's something that makes you happy. It's something that makes you like feel like a child again, you know? And we are called, to be as children in the eyes of the Lord. So, oh yeah, it's some of the best ways to escape. You know what I'm saying? Escape reality. Better than anything else that you can do with your time. So for sure. Uh oh, John says my brother's depressed, man. It's all about the art and colors. Thank you, thank you. That's all I'm saying. Listen, a lot of people get it wrong, yo. Like, and I explained this in one of my last streams, I think. But just because, how do I say this? So when I was younger, all right, when I was younger, I did everything. I played basketball. I've always been into like lifting weights. Always was somewhat into like bodybuilding. I was in sports overall. Okay, very athletic. I would be out on the basketball court almost every day. Was a decently pretty good player. For like what it is to be like a neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like tournament, like basketball player, or whatever. Um, you know what I'm saying? And just because your lifestyle is a certain way doesn't mean that you can't like certain things. So I might be an athlete, you know what I'm saying? And I'll whoop your, on the basketball court. I'll break your ankles. You know what I'm saying? I'll break Alex's ankles on the court. Anybody. Ghost. Listen, I'm not saying I'm great. I'm just saying I'm extremely confident in my abilities. That's all I'm going to say. Um, but at the end of the day, when all is said and done, and you know what I'm saying, the basketball is like put aside. Um, I love art. Do you know what I'm saying? And to me, again, comic books are what some people might deem a Van Gogh or oh my goodness, I forget the names now. Michelangelo's or uh, the names escape me now, but you get what I'm trying to say. What some people deem to be the greatest artist in the world in history, right? And they see like a Van Gogh or whatever type painting or whatever it is, and they're like, "Oh, that deserves to be in a gallery or whatever." I look at these comic books and I say the same thing. Yo, this should be in a gallery somewhere. You know what I mean? Like it's just art, you know. Like it's all it is art. Um, I've had this bottle in front of me all this time, and I have not yet taken a sip. So y'all gonna have to excuse me while the brother gets a sip on. Um, the comics today, though, yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. It's like the same thing with like shows and movies. You know what I'm saying? The artworks, mm, not sometimes it is. Sometimes it's really, really, really detailed, like really nice. But for the most part, it's not. It doesn't catch my attention like these old school or even modern age like comics draw my attention. So, them and KB toys. You buy them. Well, hold up. Bring it back. Oh, I used to buy all my slot cars. So okay, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Man, I've been missing out some of the comments that you guys wrote. Um, get out of here, bro. For real? From the 19th. God dang, man. Come on, bro. What? For how much? I'm hoping you got it for a steal the same way I got my stuff for a steal. I hope no one, you know what I'm saying, made you like lose your rent money for it. Yeah, and usually if and whenever I do go to Hobby Lobby, that's sometimes where I get some of my art supplies at, um, or decorative stuff. I actually have something decorative here. I don't think that I've ever showed you guys that I think I bought from Hobby Lobby. So give me 1 second. All right. All right. So sadly, it's not there. It's not where I thought it was. But basically, it's one of those like metal like wall decors or whatever, and it has the image of the first issue where Batman is swinging across the buildings with like Robin or whatever. I forget what issue number that is, but it has like that image of that comic cover, and it's nice. I just honestly, I don't feel like putting anything up here because I feel like if I do, I'm stuck here for all eternity. It's not a terrible thing, but it's also not the best thing. It's not what I'm looking to do. So you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes what you do will later determine what the outcome will be, you know? So, oh, it's a reprint. Okay. Hey man, listen, let me tell you something about reprints, all right? Depending on what reprint you're talking about, I would hold on to them because sometimes there's certain reprints that were done at an extremely low copy number. So, if let's say, just to give you like a rough example, let's say the original they made like, I don't know, a million of them, right? A million of them. Okay. The original they made a million, but then the reprint they made like maybe like 10,000 of them or whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? It might not be the original, but the scarcity of it makes it rare. So, if anything, buy don't follow my advice. But if I could, if I could financially like do it, I'd buy like two copies of everything. One for my PC and the other one like strictly for like, grading and and investing into. Um Slot cars were so much fun and still are. They had a badass track out here, but it closed up along with our hobby store that has been out here since I was a kid. Probably longer. That sucks, man. Uh I didn't know that. I mean, I had heard about it, but I had never seen it with my own eyes. Because I know Facebook Marketplace. I mean, there's so much you can find on there, bro. Um, okay. All right, hold on. Let me follow up here. So the reprint was done back in the 80s. DC refused to reprint it again a few years ago because of the controversy with the stories. Yeah, so definitely hold on to it then. Listen, Linda. So anytime there's a controversy tied into that collective item, it's always going to hold its value because of the controversy that's tied to it. Whether that controversy was good or bad or whatever the case may be, like it's one of those weird things where it's like bad what's the saying? How does the saying go? Bad bad press is good press, or any press is good press. It's something along those lines. But yeah, they're starting to make a comeback. Yeah, some video games are cool, true. But yeah, I would definitely hold on to that. All right, so let me get this out the way real quick because I don't think there's any more covers that I wanted to show you guys. I think I did show you guys the other issues that I got the other day, right? The facsimiles of the Amazing Fantasy number 15 and Amazing Spider-Man number 1, right? And the Wolverine cover. I feel like there's some of the issues that I bought recently that I haven't showed you guys, but I'll leave that for another day. Let me close some of these out. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, no, same here. Have you seen the Black Adam movie by any chance? The one with the Rock as Black Adam? The last one that they pulled? If y'all have not seen that movie yet, let me just say, as with any other movie from this decade, yeah, I did see it. I saw it 2 nights ago with my cousins. As with any and almost every movie this decade, they be pushing agenda so hard, bro. Is crazy. I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys. Obviously, not at least not in that way. However, I'm sure, like especially like people like Terrence, John, Rod. I know you guys. As soon as you hear certain things and certain phrases or words or whatever, you're gonna immediately think of like me and be like, "This is probably what JDQ was talking about. This is probably what he was meaning to say." Um, You just wait till you see it. I promise you. I promise you. As soon as it gets to the moments that I am telling you right now, like in a very cryptic way, once it gets to those moments, I can guarantee you, you'll know. Like you'll know without a shadow of a doubt. Like, oh, this is probably what he was talking about. So let me just put it to you this way. Um, there's different ways of pretty much dissecting a movie. Okay. Um, you could dissect it in a positive light, you know, an agenda that might have been brought up for like negative or evil purposes. You know, there might be a way of redirecting the purpose of it into a positive light. Um, and then there's just moments where you just can't really justify it, and it's like, you know, evil is evil, and like that's that. There's no like way of like putting it in a positive light. And then there's confusion, you know, or potential possible confusion within the line that is being said, or who's saying it, or you know, imagery that you'll see that you'll be like, that's not good, right? Um, and then there's imagery that you'll be like, oh, at least they, you know what I'm saying, they rectified it by doing this other thing. They didn't just leave it at that, and you know, because it looked terrible what they did just in that scene, but at least they rectified it doing this. It's like, so I don't know, man. Like, you smell the black guy. I'm excited for Joker 2. Yeah, I heard about that. Listen, um, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I guess I've only seen Lady Gaga act in like two movies, and only one of them to me was like memorable, and that was the House of Gucci. I think she did a good job in that one. Um, it kind of like, you know, really showcased her for me as an actual like actress. Like, okay, like I could take her seriously as an actress. Like, all right, cool. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Harley Quinn, you got a lot. You got some big shoes to fill with Margot Robbie. You know what I'm saying, doing her thing. With Margot Robbie, it's as if they literally, well, not literally, but you know, metaphorically, took Harley Quinn out of the animated series, the original Batman animated series, by the way, pulled her out and said, okay, boom. Oh, she's here, guys. That's literally how it feels. So I don't know, man. Lady Gaga. I know. Obviously, I'm aware that they're gonna do different interpretations of Harley Quinn. They're gonna do like a different, what do you call it? Just a different style altogether. The same way they did with Joaquin Phoenix as Joker, and the same way that um, Heath Ledger, you know what I'm saying, did his version of the Joker that was iconic, that pretty much put him at the over the top of like actors who played the Joker in a live action movie. Um, but I don't know, man. I don't know if she got it like that. Just it might be just me. Oh, an offer on eBay. I might potentially maybe accept it later tonight. um, yeah, but you know what? Hey, let me tell you something, Terrence. Look. So we can't hate as much as I would love to. I would love to just stomp on Jared Leto and be like, "You sucked." You know what I'm saying? And this is all your fault. You got to remember this, bro. You got to remember this. The producers and mainly the directors are the ones who, number one, they're the ones who like work with the actor and see what is actually working in their eyes, right? The directors and producers, but mostly directors. And they're the ones that determine whether something stays a certain way or it changes. Meaning, if you know what I'm saying, Jared Leto was acting the way he was acting, and they produced it that way and they like put it out that way is because they were okay with it. It's because they accepted it and they were happy with the results, them personally. Obviously, us, the fans, are the last ones to judge because everything's put out, um, you know what I'm saying, without really consulting with the fans or whatever. So we're the last ones to give our 2 cents or whatever. But even though we're the most important ones to give our 2 cents because we're the ones who are going to be watching the thing. We're the last ones to you know what I'm saying, like get our opinions out there. So, but I can't put it all on Jared Leto because two things actually happened. So, what I just explained, and then on top of that, Jared Leto himself wasn't happy with how he was portraying the character. If I'm not mistaken, there was a few interviews where they pulled him aside and they're like, "Hey, you know, like the Batman movie, this and that," um, and and he himself was upset with how he was pretty much, I don't want to say forced, but the way he was directed and led to, you know what I'm saying, portray the character was how the directors and producers wanted him to portray him. So it was kind of like he was like stuck. You know what I mean? Um ah but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say though. I can't really entirely I'll just say I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Um and he's gonna have more opportunities down the line to prove himself. You know what I mean? Which actually wasn't he the one who played Morpheus? I mean Morpheus, Morbius. I cannot believe I just did that, yo. And I clowned my dad because he did the same thing when it came out. The Morpheus? I'm like, not Morpheus, man. His name Matrix is Morbius. I do it's because they didn't trust him. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Okay, so hold on. So you say I do? Yeah, I do. It's oh, okay. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that's what I was pretty much like hinting at earlier. Yeah, you're right. They didn't fully like trust him with the way he kind of like wanted to go about it. Yeah, but yeah, man. Yo, the upcoming movies, Wakanda Forever. I'm extremely excited for that one. I got a yellow Black Panther shirt that I have not worn more than once, and I only wore it once just to see how it fitted on me. And newsflash, it looks amazing on your board, man. It looks fitted. You know what I'm saying? I look like I'm about to like play some type of like weightlifting team or something like that. It just it makes me look a lot bigger than what I really am. I'll just put it to you that way. But I'm like I'm counting the days almost of like when it comes out because I will be rocking that shirt and I'll be rocking that shirt proudly. Oh man, but yeah, I'm still waiting for the guys to tell me if they're gonna be on with me or not. It's about to be an hour though. Huh. I be getting a lot of notifications from eBay and all this other stuff. But okay. Sorry about that. I apologize. I don't know about that movie. I like the first one. Okay. I'm glad you said that. Um I rewatched rewatched the first one a few days ago just to kind of get myself, you know what I'm saying, like remind myself where everything like left off and get the storyline and all that. Um, Chadwick Boseman, God rest his soul. Um, he had a certain charm to him. You know what I mean? He had a certain charm that was unique to him. The same way, you know what I'm saying? Robert Downey Jr. has a specific unique charm that pertains to him and Chris Evans. All these people that have landed these massively important roles within this cinematic universe have a thing about them, but mostly Chadwick. And I'm not saying that just because he's dead. You know what I'm saying? Again, God rest his soul. And I'm not saying that because he's kind of almost like one of my peoples, or vice versa. But there really is, because if you watch him in other movies, man, that charm still transfers over and carries over to the other films that he's done. You know what I mean? And that's one of the reasons why it's gonna be a little tough and a little difficult. We'll see what happens with how I forget her real name, but the girl who plays Shuri, who's gonna be taking up the mantle, she has a charm to her as well. Like, you know, don't get me wrong, that she has a uniqueness to her, and she's very likable, and she's very, you know, like charming in her own way. But we're gonna have to wait and see how well, you know what I'm saying, she uses that charm that she had in that first movie and carries it over. Because I feel like the acting part of things, I feel like she was lacking on that side. Like, yeah, she was likable. Yeah, she was charming. Um, she was, you know, she was cute with it or whatever. But the acting skills, I don't know. We'll see. Again, we'll see if with the second one we see more of her like acting skills come into play. But I feel like her acting skills weren't, you know what I'm saying, Chadwick Boseman level. So we'll see. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much when Heath Ledger passed away, same thing. Yep. I think they did so. Listen, I'm so sorry. Let me just say this. This is no offense. This is no offense to the guy playing Submariner. Okay, no disrespect to the guy playing Neymar. I'm pretty sure you're a great actor, bro. Um, but with all due respect, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm. You know what? This is just my personal opinion. Again, this is take what I'm saying with a grain of salt here. But I don't think it was the best option, yo. Like, I don't, as aesthetically wise, you know what I'm saying? Like visually, I don't see him as Neymar. I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm trying to. I tried. I watched the trailer a few times and I was like, why though? Why is this guy playing the I was so lost and confused the first few seconds. I was like, wait a second, what? I was, but hey, man, like, I'm hoping he proves me wrong. I'm hoping that his acting wins me over to where I'm able to look past the visual and be like, you know what, bro? Yes, like you deserve that role. Um, Carl Urban. All right, let's look up Carl Urban real quick because I'm terrible with names, bro. I'll be straight up honest with you. Um, I am terrible with. Oh, the guy who plays what's his face from The Boys. Oh, that would be an interesting choice for sure. I gotta see him in the thing though. Like, I gotta see him in the full on like outfit. Cause that's the thing. Like, some people like look the part like right away, like Henry Cavill or Henry Cavill, however you say his name. Yeah, he's straight up look like Superman, like right away. It's not even. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, you're in. Boom. Uh, freaking. Oh my goodness, what's his name? Tobey Maguire for Spider Man or Peter Parker. Yeah, I could have been like, yep, you're in. You know, there's just certain people that look the part like almost instantaneously. The dude who they picked to play Neymar, no, like not at all. Not even if I squint my eyes, I'll be like, oh, okay, now I see it. No. Ben Affleck, yeah. Batman could be anybody, yo, because he's got a mask on. Let's be real here. You know what I'm saying? He could be anybody. I mean, he can be anyone white. He could be anyone white. I'm so sorry, y'all. My bad. But I don't know. I have to see him, Carl Urban, and let's put him up on the screen. That way, everybody can take a crack at it. And all right. So this is I know him best from The Boys, which by the way, like The Boys is it's got to be one of the greatest superhero genre TV shows out there, yo. Yeah, the guy playing Namor, yeah, he's man, I just don't want to sound like no, I don't know how to say this without sounding I don't want to sound anal or nitpicky or whatever. But starting off with the color, like no, already with the color, no, not the right choice. And then screw it, I'm gonna speak my mind. It is what it is. Like the color, definitely nope, not the right choice. Um, what do you call it? The ethnic, ethnic, oh my goodness, ethnicity, definitely not the right choice. Height, definitely not the right choice, and so on and so forth. Like it's just too many variables that I have to say no to where the no's overwhelm the yeses. Like, is he a great actor? Maybe, but everything else, like, nah, it doesn't check out the list. And yeah, The Boys, great. It's the most amazing superhero genre live action series or show because it's so unpredictable, bro. That show has caught me off guard so many from the first episode where what's his face like is running and just blows through this guy's like girlfriend and he's stuck with holding her hands all bloody and stuff. I was just like I had to press pause. I was like, what just happened? Like, what am I watching? What what is this? What is this? And that shock and awe moment has not stopped with that show. They keep catching me off guard left and right. I mean, there's some things that you can predict, but there's always something that you just do not see coming. And it's like, damn, they got me. They got me good. Man, they really pulled the rug under my feet or whatever. Like, ouch. But yeah, the predictability is really low on that show, which is it just makes it that much more appealing. But yeah, this guy for Neymar, I had to see him in the outfit, but maybe I could see it working. Uh Lord help me. Okay, let me just stop sharing this. Um, Something else I want to bring to y'all's attention. Let me see if I can bring it up through my actual watch history from YouTube. Hopefully. Um, I apologize. Can't believe I have to like really. Okay. Um, where is my playlist? Oh, I guess it might be in playlist. Um, hmm. Where is the watch later? The heck? Yo, am I tripping? I feel like I'm tripping. I can't find the regular like. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's try this. All right, here we go. Man, yeah, I was gonna say there's no way. Okay, yeah, here we go. watch later. And my bad, by the way, guys. I'm just trying to make sure I get the right video here before I even put it up. Oh my goodness gracious, where are you? What happened? Message. Oh, okay. This is something I've been meaning to show you guys. The heck? Where'd you go? What the heck is going on here? It's great. Now I have to look it up again. Okay, this is the one. Okay. I've been meaning to show you guys this for like the longest time, but yeah, I know how my brain works. It's not that great, so sometimes I'll forget. So here we go. I do apologize for taking so long, but obviously there's buttons to press. All right, check this out. Listen closely to what this man says. I'll put this big screen for y'all. Boom.
To you, the unvaccinated. Even if I were pollinated and fully vaccinated, I would admire the unvaccinated for withstanding the greatest pressure I've ever seen. From partners, parents, children, friends, colleagues, and even doctors. People who are capable of such personality, courage, and critical ability are undoubtedly the best part of humanity. They are everywhere, in all ages, levels of education, states, and ideas. They are of a special kind. They are the soldiers that every army of light wants to have in its ranks. They are the parent that every child wants to have, and the children that every parent dreams of having. They are beings above the average of their societies.
Thank you.
They are the essence of the people who have, built all cultures and conquered horizons. They are there, next to you. They look normal, but they are superheroes. They did what others could not. They were the tree that withstood the hurricane of insults, discrimination, and social exclusion. And they did it because they thought they were alone. And they believed that, they were the only ones. Banned from their families' tables at Christmas, they never saw anything so cruel. They lost their jobs, let their careers sink, had no more money, but they didn't care. They suffered immeasurable discrimination, denunciation, betrayal, and humiliation, but they kept on going. Never before in humanity has there been such a casting. Now, we all know who are the best on the planet Earth. Men, women, young, old, rich, poor, of all races or religions, the unvaccinated, the chosen of the invisible ark, the only ones who managed to resist when everything collapsed. That's you. You passed an unimaginable test that many of the toughest Marines, commandos, Green Berets, astronauts, and even geniuses could not withstand. You are made of the stuff of the greatest who ever lived. Those heroes born among ordinary men who glow in the dark. Remember, you're the voice, and it's time to make it count. Message to
you. You gonna make me cry, fam. I swear you about to make me cry, yo. Oh, man. You like me. You really like me. Like, I want to thank my mom and pops. That thankfully they're still around for me to thank. Love you, mama. Thank you. And of course, the lovely, the beautiful, the undeniable Miss Emily Rose in the building. Everybody show Emily Rose some love in the live chat. I appreciate your presence here. Thank you so much. But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure most of, if not all of you guys have seen that video before. But recent activity that's been going around, like, international news, kind of point towards another situation. Man, I don't know what's wrong with my tongue today. Another situation that might be similar to the ones that we experienced back 2 years ago. And let that be some motivation and inspiration for you to, you know what I'm saying, hold your guns and hold your ground. All right. They can't keep the they can keep the shot. Yeah, you got that right. If your joke conversation doesn't involve Cameron, sir, yeah, get your Cameron Monaghan out of here. We want no part of this. I mean, if you want, here, let's entertain you for a bit, because I'm pretty sure if I don't do this, I'm gonna go back to playing Gotham Knights, and we all don't want to see that now, do we? Um, yeah, this is what I thought. Okay, first of all, first of all, technically, technically, Brother Red, although I would love to include him in that awesome lineup. Oh, is that a bid? Or hold on, let's see. Oh, there is a bid. There is a God. Okay, okay, nice. Praise the Lord. All right. So as much as I would love to include this guy on that Joker list, because he did a phenomenal job in Gotham, I will give him that for sure. However, technically, technically, he was meant to be the inspiration for who would later become the Joker. So technically, and you know this is true, you know that technically he's not really, really, literally, and what's the word I'm looking for? Officially, um, the Joker. He acts as inspiration for the Joker, sure. And again, I would love to include him in the list. However, because of technicalities, it's not really on the list. He's like on an honorary list, if you will. But I do appreciate you bringing him up, though. He did a great job in Gotham, and I would never ever take that away from him ever. He was amazing. He was undeniably the best character of that show, aside from Selena. That she did it. I forget her name in real life, but Selena Kyle in that show, good job. She did a great job. Jack Nicholson, come on, bro. No, he was okay. He reminded me a little bit of like the Batman animated series Batman. Okay, yeah, I'll give him that. I'll give him that. But in reality, the same way that Michael Keaton like gave Batman a different direction, like a darker, more serious tone, is the same way that Heath Ledger gave that Joker the edge in like live action film. So, what do you really go by when determining the greatest? Like someone who portrays something as it's supposed to, or someone who portrays a role in a different way, in a way that you didn't know that you wanted it to be portrayed that way. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I can say that again, but again, I'm gonna try to say it again. What do you really consider and use as a source for like considering what's great or a great actor? Someone who plays the role as it's meant to be played, or someone who plays a role in a way, in a new way that you didn't know you wanted it to be played as. You know what I mean? Yeah. Dad basically played himself when he, yeah, pretty much is what he did. And then meanwhile, Heath Ledger, he did method acting, and you know what I'm saying. He got possessed, which is the truth. He got possessed, and we all know what happened to him. Great role in the movie. Was it worth it though? I cannot say. I don't know what to really. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't know. Way out there. Yeah. Yeah, he did it in such a way where now the go-to, see, this is what I'm saying. He did it in such a great way where now they looked to him and how he did the Joker as inspiration and source material to take from and try to duplicate it and imitate it. That's how good it was. He didn't rely on an original or a different like style of doing the character. He did it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He raised the bar, if you will. I didn't want to sound cliche, but yeah, he raised the bar. Matter of fact, he raised the bar and he put it on the Empire State Building. That's what he did. Nolan trilogy. Yeah. Like they have it on Blu-ray. I say physical copies are always necessary, bro. The guy from American Psycho and was a great Batman. I have to look into that. That is true. That is very true. Not everyone has that capability, or not everyone is willing to do that. Some might have the capability, but most probably won't want to go that far. Man, let me double check here. This is only gonna be 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. Oh, my bad, John. I am so sorry. Firestorm 2004, issues 1 through 4. Let's see. Firestorm. These are nice covers. I mean, I like that third one and the fourth one. And even the first one. The second one, I don't know. The second one's not really that appealing. The first one, third one, the fourth one look nice. Thanks for saying that, bro. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. With the crap. There we go. Okay. Okay. Well, here's the thing about that. So, okay. God forbid something happens, you know what I'm saying, with like the internet one day. You know what I mean? And you don't have access to streaming services or downloaded stuff on the browser or whatever. And boom, it's like you're disconnected. You're off the grid, right? And unintentionally. Then what? You know what I mean? And it could happen. It could happen any day, any moment, any given time. It could happen. But people are so blindly trusting of the internet and the servers and all this other stuff that they don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't ever question like the what if. Henceforth, not a lot of people carry physical copies nowadays. However, that's when they come in and that's when they become like super important. You know what I'm saying? And it will happen eventually at one point. I don't know when. I can't really, I'm not a psychic or nothing like that. But it will happen, trust me. And when it does, you'll remember the stream. You're like, dang, shouldn't have gotten those copies. So if y'all need copies, y'all can hit Terrence up. And let Terrence sell them at top dollar, okay? Oh, man. Like with my boys. See, okay, like, and I used to do that, Terrence. I used to buy them digitally, because it's, what's the word? It's convenient. It's very convenient to have them on your phone or your tablet. You know what I mean? I get it. But if something happens to your phone, if something happens to your tablet, if something happens to your PC or whatever you use, again, then what? Yeah, technically you could log in to that account from any other device, right? But that's a hassle in itself to a certain point. So it's like, just get the physical copy as well while you're at it. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. All right. My bad, y'all. I'm so sorry. Hold up. I meant to say this earlier. All right. So real quick, well, before I get into the more important stuff, my bad, not the more important stuff. Before I get to the other stuff, let's actually go through something that I wanted to share about Kanye because, of course, this is a channel dedicated to the music industry and all that, right? So, let's see. Mm, okay. Selfish man. I don't see it on here. I think it's probably this one, maybe. I know he was in a radio station on YouTube these past few days or whatever, and he spoke up against the Jewish elites, not Jewish people in general, but the Jewish elite that, as we all know, govern society in the world that we live in today. That's a known fact. That's just a known fact. If you don't know this by now, then you just choose to be blind. And I feel if I mean, I can't help you. Like if you don't know that by now, and if you do not do your own research and find out that that's the fact, and you refuse to believe it as fact, I can't help you. But pretty much, he was, and of course now I'm having trouble with like for the thing to load. Um, okay, I think this is the one I was looking for. Let's see. Hmm. So many commercials. Okay. It's not the one I'm looking for, but yeah, they interviewed him or whatever, and he was speaking up against the remarks that he had made or whatever, and he was explaining himself extremely well. Um, I have said this in the past, and I'll say it again. Excuse me. Um, trying to find the right way of saying it because so I love my brothers and sisters, like my Jewish brothers and sisters, right? I love them. Obviously, what Alex is Jewish, right? Um, so I love my Jewish people. I pray for them. I love them as family, as uh, the living room. There's certain parts of the living room that's like dedicated to honoring, you know what I'm saying, Israel and the Jewish culture and all that. And so my family and I, we love the Jewish community. We love the Jewish people. However, as with a lot of cultures, be it that Hispanic, European, whatever, Latin, whatever culture you can think of, basically, there's always a sector that is not up to the best of things. I'll just put it to you that way. And so there's people who make the mistake of grouping everything in general senses and saying, oh, all these people or all those people or all my people or all your people, blah, 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 are like this. That's a mistake. That's an error. It's not everyone from that culture. It's not everyone from that area. Um, you know, there is just small sectors that are just not up to the greatest things. And Kanye was pointing out just that a small portion of that population that's not up to the greatest of things. You know what I mean? And I mean, he's got a point. He's got a point. I'd have to listen to all the commentary that he's done in the past few days, to kind of like nitpick, like what was like maybe out of line or something. But for the most part, from the bulk of what I heard, it's like he's just speaking information and facts. You know, things that you could look up, things that you can actually confirm. You know, Tetris God, we're doing great, man. We're doing fantastic. We're doing amazing. We're doing spectacular, wonderful. I could go on and on, right? I'm a living dictionary. I used to be one. At least there was a point in time where I actually was extremely good with dates. Well, not dates. Words. My bad. I said dates. Oh, y'all have to see this. Y'all have to see this. Hold up. I'm about to show you guys my phone. Yo, that is off the chain. Okay, I'm about to show you guys what I'm looking at in a second. Hold on. I just got to get through all the notifications and blah, 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 blah. God, so many. I did it to myself, really, but even then, it's like, it's still annoying. Even though, like, you know what I'm saying? You did it to yourself. You shot yourself in the foot, basically. It's still annoying. God bless you, by the way, Tetris. Thanks for being here, bro. I appreciate it. So this actually lines up with something that I wanted to show you guys. Golly, man, how many notifications are there? Okay, my bad. All right, so purchases. All right, I am excited about something because okay, so this is what happened. I'm gonna give y'all the long story short. All right, because I'm known to talk a lot. I'm known to be one to, you know what I'm saying, ramble on and oh, get to the point, get to the point. Everybody, you know what I'm saying, like knows me for this. Be it my sister, be it my love interest, be it my family in general. Heck, sometimes even when I was preaching back in the day when I used to preach, some people would be like, but get to the point. I get it. I get it. Normally I talk a lot, but right now I'm go straight to the point, make the long story short. So I go to the LCS, right, the local comic book shop, a few days ago, and I told the guy, "Hey, by any chance, do you know of a facsimile of this one issue where Spider-Man is wearing the symbiote suit, but he's swinging across the city like in the Amazing Fantasy number 15? It's like a homage tribute cover." To that issue number 1, issue number 15. And the dude was like, "Oh no, I don't think they did a reprint on that. There's no way, there's no way." And listen, for the most part, that same guy, he's extremely helpful. If I have a question, he'll go through his phone or the computer and he'll help me out. He'll do his like quick research on it. Um, but with this particular issue that I asked him for, he was like, "Oh no, there's no way they did a reprint on that." It's kind of like he like shrugged it off too quick. And you know, like I in a way, I heard him and I saw how he felt about it. All right, okay, like I trusted him a little bit. I was like, okay, maybe he's right or whatever. Maybe I'm asking for too much. But then later on that same night, I was like, let me just look it up. Let me just look it up just to see if if maybe I'm tripping, maybe I'm asking for too much, maybe I'm not. And I looked it up, and sure enough, there is. So you have the original direct edition, which has the Spider-Man logo on the bottom left. Then you got the newsstand edition that has the original thick barcode on the bottom left. And then you got the second print that has a different Spider-Man logo on the bottom left and a gold top layer. And then you have the facsimile. The facsimile is going for anywhere between $7 to like $20, depending on the grade or depending on the condition of it. But the point is, it exists, and I found it, and I'm like, come on, bro, like I wouldn't ask you to like bring down the moon for me. It was just a quick look up, like just look it up, and I found it. And because of the price, I think I bought it for like $7 or something like that. So that one I just found out right now is it just got shipped earlier today or whatever. So it's on its way here, and it should be here between tomorrow and Tuesday. What up, Tracy? I agree with you, Tracy. I agree 1,000% with that comment. Yeah, I agree 1,000% with that comment. Yes, indeed. But yeah. Um, see Kiko trying to let's let's send him the link, shall we? Um, y'all gonna have to excuse me for a few seconds while I write this down. I apologize if I take too long. God dang it, man. Okay. So, anyways, yeah. Hopefully that long story short helped help get you guys up to speed or whatever. And I'm happy about the order because I got the second print and the facsimile because they were at really really low prices, so I couldn't resist. That's the thing with me is like if something is at a really 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 good price, I'm talking about like $5 or less or whatever, or $10 or less. Like it's a like a automatic yes for me almost. Um, yeah, Elon Musk will own most of the world soon. That's correct. Um, he seems vast. Am I assuming you mean the other thing? All right, so we should have Geeko on in a few minutes or so. You missed a lot. Uh, trust no one. You missed the entirety of the stream, the excitement, the chills, the thrills, the suspense. You missed everything. Now you got to stay till for the rest of the stream. See, now you did it to yourself. Trust no one. But yeah, I think if anything, Kiko might have some of the links that I was trying to find earlier and share with you guys. You know what? I'm gonna hold off from showing you guys the one of the more important things that I wanted to share with you guys before we finish the stream tonight. But I'm gonna let Giggle come on here in a few minutes. Nah. You want to know why? Why I don't think he is the last Antichrist. So, biblically, right? Biblically, and yes, I agree with this. Prayers and positive vibes towards Tracy and her family for sure. Biblically, there's supposed to be a lifting up of the church before the Antichrist shows up. Like once the Antichrist shows up, the church would have already been lifted for the rapture. Because once the Antichrist takes over and actually, you know what I'm saying, starts pretty much put into power in some way, shape, or form, that's the beginning of the 7 years of the Great Tribulation. So I'm not saying how do I say this? I'll put it to you this way. one good way of knowing if it's him or if it would be him is if like people like my father and my mother would have disappeared. They would have vanished already. You know what I mean? Strong people in the faith, genuine, strong people in the faith that have a really, really close, genuine connection with God and a close relationship with God, all around the world will vanish before the Antichrist takes over and the 7 years of the Great Tribulation begin. That is my belief as a Christian. That's my belief as a Christ follower. That's my belief as someone of the faith. Um, there's different opinions of when that rapture will occur. I just happen to be part of the portion that believes it'll happen right before um, the appearance of the Antichrist. There's some that believe it'll happen mid tribulation, so center of the 7 years, and there's some that believe that it will happen after the Great Tribulation. Um, so aside from all that, that's the Great Tribulation is aside from all that stuff. The famine and stuff, that's separate stuff that will and are happening already. But the Great Tribulation, it'll be like it'll be like Christians being like legit persecuted, like banging on the door, back in Paul's day, where he would drag Christians out by the leg, pretty much, to be tortured until they take the mark, or are decapitated or murdered or whatever. That has isn't happening right now in the United States. That's happening in some places around the world, but here in the United States, it's not happening yet. So, these are things to consider. Oh, I didn't even show you guys the cover, did I? My bad. Okay, what about Gog and Magog? Um, that's a tough one, man, because the whole Gog and Magog thing, I think, also happens within. I have to go back and read, so don't quote me on this. Don't say, oh, but JDQ said. No, no, no. Go read the Bible. But from top of my head, I do believe that's something that happens within or in the midst of the Great Tribulation. The whole Gog and Magog, it's either within the Great Tribulation or like at the very end of the Great Tribulation. It's one of those two. But yeah, the Battle of Armageddon, that's listen, that's a whole different story, my friend. I think the Battle of Armageddon, and this is why I say it'll be within or after the Great Tribulation. I believe if we read correctly, in that war or that Battle of Armageddon, us believers in Christ will come down with the Lord Himself and basically destroy the armies of the enemy. So, yeah, man, I need some more bids on on some of these items on eBay, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Russian and China together. We started. This is just, yeah, it's legit. Just the beginning. Hold on, before I bring Kiko on, while he sets his thing up, let me show you guys the thing that I'm waiting for. Well, one of the things I'm waiting for. All right. If I can get the picture. No, you're good, Tetris. You're good. No one is upset, bro. No one is upset. I'm just answering based on what I can answer. I'm not the source per se. But look, this is one of the ones I'm waiting on right here. All right. That's one of the reprint. Well, this is the actual official reprint of the original. So this is the second print. Not a reprint. This is the second print of the original issue. And then the other one is the facsimile. I'll show you guys the facsimile real quick. Those things are hard to decode, bro. Oh, I know, Terrence. I know, bro. Listen. I know I got good taste. Look at that. This is the facsimile I was telling you guys about. Okay. Yeah, and history does repeat itself for sure. Agree with that, Rod. Boom. Facsimile. I got that one for like $10. Okay. So not too bad. But anyways, I just want to show you that real quick before I bring Kiko on in 3, 2, 1. Boom. What up, brother man?
What's up, man? You've been on here for an hour and 42 minutes already?
Indeed I have.
Wow.
I know.
You wow. You wildin'.
I'm actually about to get off in 5. I'm kidding.
I know, right? It's almost time to go to sleep.
No, what's funny is that the people who have been on here all this time, we've actually had a nice interactive conversation from start to finish up until now. So, I mean, all that's gonna happen is I'm gonna give the floor to you because listen, man, I gotta protect my radio host voice. Okay, I can't be without a voice tomorrow. I gotta protect the moneymaker here. Okay.
Shout out to everybody who's here again.
They're saying one of them is, well, Terrence is saying you're late, and then Rod is saying, oh, never mind. Rod
I was late to my college graduation and my high school graduation.
He had that what did they call it, the fashionably late situation going on there.
I'm always late. Always. Shoot, I'd rather be late than never show up. The one time I was trying to hurry up to go to church because I was picking up my sister in Tampa, and here I am going like 80 miles per hour, right? And the tires popped. And let me tell you, when you're going 80 miles per hour and the tires pop, you lose control of the car. And let me tell you, by the grace of God, there was like something protected us from flipping. Yeah, it was crazy. All I remember is that as I'm holding the steering wheel, I heard pop, and then all of a sudden the car just like, and I'm like, oh my Lord! I looked at my mom, and then I heard my sisters. I looked at my mom. My mom looked at me, and I hear my sister say, "Mommy," and that car went like this, like sliding.
Yeah.
And thank God that there was this medium in the middle, because I had just sped up and passed people.
Oh.
So the tires popped, and then the wheel took over. It went like that. You know what I'm saying? And the car just went sliding. Like sliding yards. You know what I'm talking about? Like 30 yards away. And one of the tires ended up underneath the car.
Oh, wow.
It could have flipped. Like
flip.
But it didn't flip, man. And that taught me a lesson. It's rather be late than never show up.
It's kind of like that one time that we were coming home from downtown Orlando, and it was super late. It was like 1 or 2 in the morning, and we were passing by the Harley Davidson area of the I-4 area or whatever, and that area apparently at the time I was unaware, but they were doing construction, and apparently the lane that I was on was the middle lane. And it was oily. So next thing I know, because Kiko was like sleeping in the passenger seat and I was driving. Next thing I know, the car just starts skidding and sliding like this, like diagonally. And then it turned like, I think like one time or whatever. And then I kept going straight after that. But you were woken up by it. And also by the grace of God, I looked behind us and I know it has to do with the time it was, because obviously there's hours in the day where it's like jam packed, and there's other hours of the night where it's completely empty. But it just so happens that at that hour, and with what was going on, there was absolutely no one behind us at all for like miles on end. So the grace of God, the hand of God protected us, but also the fact that there was no cars on the streets with us at that point in time. But it was still scary. I thought the car was gonna flip too, because it did like a 180 and then it kept going or whatever.
Right?
So, but that was a scary time. That was a scary time. But yeah, so go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you never know you're gonna come home. Once you walk out the door.
Yeah, that's why it's always, you should always make sure you're right with the Lord.
You saw all the people who got stampede in Korea.
Yeah, I showed that earlier. But if you wanna bring it up again, we can talk about it.
I'm just saying, like, you just never know when you're coming home, man.
Yep.
Like, I have no words to say about that stuff, man. Other than it's shocking and sad that you go enjoy life, and you get stampede and trampoline on.
I know it's not a laughing matter. Okay, let me just say this again. It's not a laughing matter, and in no way, shape, or form, what I'm going to say next is to reflect me trying to be funny about it. Okay, so I'm just saying that to get it out the way. But every time I hear the word stampede, I think of the Lion King and like how Mufasa got trampled and like, you know what I'm saying? There's pretty much pushed off the cliff, basically. So
right?
when I heard the word stampede, I was like in the Lion King? I was like people, that happened to people like in the Lion King?
Shoot, man. I was watching videos, people crying and stuff.
That's crazy.
But I don't go out like that no more. So yeah, my brother went out yesterday, and he was telling me all the crazy stuff that was going on downtown.
They went to downtown?
He went downtown to go eat with a neighbor. And people were dressed up in Halloween costumes. And I told them, I was like, that's how it is every year over here. Whenever it's Halloween, a lot of people dress up and go downtown. There was another school shooting.
Apparently at a school called St. Louis. Let's look it up real quick. She can find me in St. Louis.
Unfortunately, I can't agree on taking guns away from the people.
Yep.
I'll never support it. Let me explain why. Because when Puerto Rico got ransacked by the Americans, they had no weapons to defend themselves. And not only them, the Spaniards, like when Columbus landed on Puerto Rican island and took all the gold and resources and left it dry, they pretty much raped the whole entire island. And then 2 weeks later, after they left, the Americans took over. And they didn't have no ways of defending themselves. So I don't think I can ever agree to taking guns away from the people.
Let me just say this. I am actively looking to have the ability and potential to protect myself if need be. I'll just leave it at that. Whatever that means, who knows? But I'll just leave it at that.
Well, it's not like you're gonna go out and do crazy stuff. That's the difference between you and people who have lost their minds.
Let's clarify one more time for the algorithm. To protect and defend myself. Just to make it very clear for the algorithm. I don't want no issues or, you know what I'm saying, be shadow banned and like that. But yeah, I'm actively looking forward to making that accessible to me. That's all I'm going to say. Whatever that means or whatever you take from it. But I'm not saying anything specific. I'm just saying I want the ability to protect myself if need be.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. So
there we go. Look, Emily says, and of course it had to be Emily. I don't. Uh, I don't agree with that either. We need to make mental health and background checks the priority. The guns don't have a mind of their own. Exactly.
That's
It's
true.
not. It's not guns who do the damage. It's people who don't use them correctly. That's all it is, man. It's as simple as that. It's black and white. There's no gray area. Simple as that. Someone who, you know what I'm saying, uses it incorrectly will always cause unknown damage or unwanted damage. You know what I mean? But in the right hands, using it correctly the right way when need be, no problem, no issues. You know?
I just like. I mean, I don't like, but it's just the media, man. The media. I think the media in this country is an enemy of the people. You know,
Since
um,
day one. Since day one.
they try to spin the story on anyone that they don't agree with. You know, and you always need to hear the four corners of the side of the story. There's always two sides, but once you see the full circle of a story, I'm pretty sure discernment will dictate the outcome of it. You know what I mean? Yeah, even though all these school shootings happen, I would never agree with the confiscation of guns from the people, because then you're just gonna have tyrannical lawlessness. I mean, the criminals are always gonna get guns.
Yep,
So why would you take that away from law-abiding citizens?
exactly. Bingo.
Don't make no sense, right?
Bingo.
You know, I think it was 2 days ago. A kid committed suicide.
Wow.
You know, he went out for a ride bike, never came home. Suicide is another thing that we should talk about. But
Let
a
me
lot of
just
times, a lot of people just
go ahead. Go
they're
ahead.
not, the mind's a very powerful place, man. The mind is full of darkness, and unless you see the light, and then imagine how a person growing up in an abusive household, you just don't know what they're going through. So you never know if they're gonna be mad at the world, go shoot up the school. I think the problem, all issues start at the house, in that house.
That's a big
If
part
you
of
don't,
it.
if you don't know how to raise a child, let alone yourself,
hmm
you're into some big trouble. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, you know, just a friendly reminder, okay? It's just a friendly reminder. And I say this as gently as I can because if you're going through it mentally, right? If you're going through a strong depression, you're going through a very negative season of your life, you're going through a very hard time in your life, um, be aware you are never completely alone. No matter how much the enemy tries to convey it that way or portray it that way, and he's gonna find ways of like, oh, you see, your mom don't want you, oh, your dad don't want you, oh, your who used to be your girlfriend don't want you, oh, you're never okay. And I'm gonna say this to the camera, so it's eye contact, all right? Never, ever, ever, forever, ever, ever, like Michael Scott would say, ever, never, ever, for whatever. Do not ever think you are completely alone. Um, there is one person who you might not see visually or physically or whatever, but there is one who went through way worse than what you're going through. And I'm not trying to take away from what you're going through, but I'm just saying there's someone who went through way worse than what you are going through and put himself in your position and took the punishment that was meant for you and me and died in your place and in my place, resurrected and is alive today and has all the power in the world to lift you up, raise your head up, and put you in grace and in blessings. All right. It's up to you whether you want to be lifted up and redirected towards a purpose driven life or if you want to dwell in the depression. The choice and the decision will always be yours, but you're not completely alone. God will be with you if you decide to You know what I'm saying? Seek help from him. And then there's always a faith family, church, that will gladly help lift you back up if you allow them to. So if you're feeling alone, if you're feeling like out of place, if you're feeling like there's no one there to help you, no one there to care for you, no one that cares about you, I'm here to tell you, if you need to reach out to me, any of us, Geeko, myself, people in the live chat, if you need to reach out to any of us for a prayer or whatever, we'll help you out in any way possible. But it's to let you know that you're not completely entirely alone. There's people out there who care about you. There's people out here who love you, people out here who want to see you do better and know that you could be doing better. All right. You just have to give yourself a chance. That's all I'm going to say about that.
That's very true.
Yep.
Just try not to, if there's somebody out there thinking that way, we've all been rejected in some shape or how or form. And not everybody is accepted for who they are. I remember growing up in school, people used to be like nerd this or whatever, nerd like. And then you know what happened? People turn into thugs. They said, well, I'm not going to be a nerd, I'm going to be a thug. So, and being a thug is not acceptable. I'd rather see a nerd. I'd rather have nerd friends than walk around with a bunch of gangbangers and thugs and
nerd friends have money.
But you know what I mean? Like a lot of people, I've seen people get beat up and all this stuff, like get jumped into sets and stuff.
Yep.
As a teenager, and I used to look at it and I'd be like, "Yeah, dumb as hell," And even back then, I didn't approve of all that stuff. But I look at life a whole differently when I was a kid. Just know that if you are thinking about hurting yourself or whatever, you got to reshape your mind. You got to renew your mind, transform your mind. And all that stuff can be done through Christ. My thing is, the first book a person should always read is Scripture. Because Scripture leads to the answers that you're looking for. It leads to everything. Every question you can think of is in there. That's if you, actually pick up the book and read it. Because some people, I look like, you've heard of Andrew Tate?
Of course.
This guy, I guess, was a Christian. Now he's Muslim. What do you think about that?
I think sometimes
with his masculinity.
I think sometimes when it comes to faith, a lot of times, there are important and definite decisions to be made. And there's seasons in a believer's life that tests us. Every situation or battle that we go through, whether it be on the spiritual sense or whether it be in a personal sense, it's a test to see how firm in our faith we are willing to stand. And I think and believe that sometimes what happens is that many people, they lose patience. And then when they lose patience, they lose sight of things. And when they lose sight of things, they're able to be manipulated and confused very easily into believing in something else. So if you're not patient enough to allow God to help you through a situation, and then you said, well, screw this, I'm going to try something else because this is not working out how I hoped it would, how I expected it would, how I thought it would. So let me give this other thing a chance. That's usually what ends up happening with people like him, in my opinion.
In his mind, he thinks that we're supposed to conquer.
But see, that's the thing, though.
It's goofy.
Hold on. But before we continue on, this is exactly. You know how earlier, I think it was Underground Media or someone who said, you learn what's going to happen in the future from learning from the past. Well, if we remember correctly, when Jesus came down and preached and did his thing, his people did not receive him for the very same reason, because they were expecting someone that came with a sword and was going to say, down with Caesar and down with his reign, and we're going to reign from this point forward, and we're going to take over, and we're going to slice through all these guys, and we're going to put the stamp of our people on here. But that's not what Jesus came to do.
That's a delusional way of thinking.
Yeah.
Because number one, God loves every single one of us the same.
Don't get me wrong. There is a moment where he's coming down to do that.
Yeah, against evildoers, but
exactly,
these people are not even giving people a chance to repent and walk away and turn away.
Exactly.
They just think that I'm gonna come in with the sword and I'm gonna start dashing and slicing, and if you don't bow down to me, I gotta slice your head open. So the reason I brought that is because this guy, people like him are delusional, yo. Like, the greatest of all things is love. You cannot force this on anybody, yo. You can't force your way into somebody's life. You can't force anybody to take a vaccine. You can't do nothing. I don't even know why governments of the earth, like China, think that, I'm going to just lock them up for preaching the gospel. Because essentially, those men who are doing that, they're clueless, but they're clueless to the fact that they're going to have to pay eternal life for that. That's why when I look at these things, and I say to myself, these people are treading on the wrong thing. They obviously are oblivious to the fact that God gave them life, and here they are trying to be tyrants to their own people.
Yep.
Just because they're speaking a living word. This message, the scripture, has to be preached unto all nations, every tongue. So imagine it came from the Hebrew language all the way to the English language, the Greek, the Latin. It had to be translated in all these forms of languages. We don't even know where it's at. Like right now, I couldn't decide. I wouldn't be able to decipher if the gospel has been preached to all nations or unto every ear. You understand what I mean?
Yep.
But I think it's people like him. They need to wake up and realize that it's not your way, it's God's way. So him acting like, oh, this is a battle of good and evil. No, duh. Duh. That even a 5-year-old can tell you that. This is a grown man, and he's just looking at it from that point of view, from good and evil. And like, we're supposed to love our enemies, not their sin.
There you go.
Understand what I mean?
Yep.
And so, yes, it's difficult. I will agree, because a lot of times I just be wanting to knock people out for their wickedness, yo. But like I told you and my brother the other day, that it is better to have been killed than to have killed someone.
Mm-hmm.
Now if somebody breaks into your house and you have to defend your household, that's a whole different thing. But for someone, if I went out of my way and said, you know what, I'm done with all these people, I'm gonna go outside, just like these school shooters, they probably think people in school are evil in their delusional mind, and they just go up into the school and start shooting as many people as possible because they think that everybody's evil. You understand what I mean?
Yep.
So we can call it mental issues.
I mean,
at the end of the day, the mind is a very delicate area. So if people, whatever they're hearing or seeing or being around, that's gonna form them to be who they are. You understand?
Right.
Like, I will never know what kind of person I would be had I never gotten in the military. I look at my father; he has a military characteristic.
Right.
My oldest brother doesn't. He's more, I want to say, street than ever, because he never was in the military.
Yep.
My youngest brother, he has a military state of mind because he was in the military. My uncles, some of my uncles who never got in, they don't think like that. They just think like from the church point of view because they grew up in church.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm trying to say is that people are molded and shaped into what they're believing and actually thinking every single day. So things come out, man. There's nothing under the sun that won't be revealed, and that's for every individual. So you could be walking around depressed right now, thinking about doing something. My thing is, you need to reshape the mind. Put positive. Like I told my best friend the other day, because I was at his house the other day, and he was playing gangster rap music, and I kept telling him, "Yo, man, you think you can turn that down? Like, you think you can turn that down, man?" Because for me, when I hear it, it bothers me, man. It sounds like Satan's talking through that individual, talking to me with their lyrics. That's how I take it. And I know people look at it like it's entertainment, or they just whatever. Because he even looks at it like it's just entertainment. But to me, like I told him, I said, when I hear that stuff, all it's doing is putting negativity into my mind. And I don't want to be thinking that. I don't want darkness hovering in my mind. And I told him one of the things that I did to escape gangster rap music was I started listening to positive lyrics, positive music. It helped transform my mind. You understand? It brought me back to life, really. Because the more you listen to this stuff, the more you think you're a gangster.
That's exactly right. Listen, I'm glad you brought that up, bro, because it's one of the reasons and purposes of this channel is to help people understand the effects that music and television have on the psyche and mind and spirit of each person. When you this is why when you listen to what a lot of people would consider worship and praise music or worship genre, and you close your eyes and you start talking to God, there's a reason why it makes things easier for you to communicate with God verbally in that moment. Is because that music is facilitating your soul and spirit to kind of like find a place and pretty much mute the noise out and just focus on him, right? It shifts your mind and your spirit into focusing on him and your communication with him, right? But when you listen to this other stuff, it happens in reverse. All the noise is now let in, and now you can't focus on anything but that stuff, but you cannot focus on God at all because of the noise that you're letting in through, what I'm saying? This trash mute. That's what it is, bro. Secular and mainstream music is just straight up trash. It's garbage. And I'm sorry if you feel like any different.
I ain't sorry. I think it's trash.
No. I'm sorry for the person that thinks that it's not, because they've been deceived. So I feel sorry for them.
Man, but you're right. That part, yeah. But those lyrics are trash, man. What's the difference between someone cursing you out and then doing it on music?
Yep. Exactly.
If you perk your ears up and you hear what they're saying, they talk about killing you. You understand? And that's how I took it. And that's how I was telling my homeboy. I was like, man, every time I hear that type of music, my spirit gets stirred inside of me. It does something to me.
It's because it with different musics, it opens different doors. It's the same thing with like when you watch certain music or movies or certain content. It opens doors to certain things to enter your spirit, your mind, your heart. And this is just, I wish people, I'm grabbing my keyboard because I'm stressing out already, because I really wish people had the eyes to discern and see the spirit world. If we were to see the spiritual world the way it's really laid out, and if we were to see what spiritual activity goes on with certain things that we do, listen to, and watch, and you see how in some of the stuff, actual demonic forces come through certain things that we watch and listen to, and vice versa. Angelic activity actually can also like come through certain things that we do, right? But bro, it's like everyone is oblivious to this reality, bro. It's
Oh,
really, really like it's insane.
my thing is like Mr. Yeezy was saying to the public the other day, and I've always known this. When you have record labels producing and creating music, and then everybody that's in the top 10 is doing the same type of music, you're feeding people to be wicked.
Now you say that. Now I'm curious. Let's go see. Let's go see what's really trending right now in the music, real quick. Let's see. Top 10. Okay. Today's top hits. Okay, this is from today. I'm gonna show you the list real quick.
According to who though?
According to Spotify. According to Spotify, "Lift Me Up," of course, from Black Panther, "Wakanda Forever" by Rihanna. They're getting you already ready for the movie that's coming up soon. Okay. "Anti-Hero" by Taylor Swift. "Unholy." You can't make this up. You can't make this up, bro. Look at this crap. Yo. Kim Petras, Sam Smith, and Kim Petras. Okay. "As It Was," Harry Styles. "Shirts," SCA. "Calm Down," Cuff It by Beyonce. "I'm Good." Let's read these. Let's read these from the bottom up because I see something weird here. And this is me. This is me reaching. Okay, but just for the fun of it. So if we go from the bottom of the list to up, okay, "I'm Good," "Cuff It." Kind of like, "I'm good, cuff me." "Calm Down," Shirts. "As It Was," Unholy. Anti-Hero is "Lifting Me Up."
Type in top hip hop music right now, just to see what's going on, because I don't know what's going on really. I try to stay away from it unless I'm in my homeboy's house. He's playing crazy stuff.
Uh, top 10 songs right now. Okay, so according to Spotify, top 10 hip hop songs right now: "Bye Bye," Marshmallow by Juice World. Wasn't Juice World dead? I thought he was dead.
I think so.
That's
Then
weird.
he passed away.
"Sticky" by Drake. Uh, "Staying Alive" by featuring Drake and Lil Baby, DJ Khaled, blah blah blah. "Naked Freestyle," Baby Keem. "Die Hard," Kendrick Lamar. "California" by Breeze and Lil Baby. Bodega. Bodega. I don't know. "Sweater," DDG. "Munch," "Feeling You." That's the top 10 for the hip hop right now at the current moment.
I haven't heard not one of those songs.
Me neither. I mean, again, we're not really like actively listening to what's out there like that, so we wouldn't know. But apparently, that's the list right now.
I look at all of them like false prophets.
Yep. So, real quick, I know this is gonna be like a really weird and out of left field shift here, but since tonight is Halloween Eve, I want to play something as a PSA to everyone in our live chat and anyone who will end up watching this later tonight or tomorrow or whatever. Um, just so we can kind of like do a quick overview of Halloween for the second time this month, because I think I did a stream on it early throughout the month, um, and the dangers of it. Why we as believers don't celebrate it in any way, shape, or form. why even wearing a cupcake outfit might open demonic doors. Okay. Um, and how the devil and enemy laughs at us if and when we do celebrate such a thing. So
I just told this girl that today.
who you told?
I was
Elizabeth?
talking. No, not her. I told the other girl. I told her I don't celebrate Halloween. I told her it's the evil holiday to celebrate. She was like, I think you're silly. I'm like, no. I told her there's two ways of looking at life. Your carnal eyes or your spiritual eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And my carnal eyes would say, hey, it's fun. Let's go dress up like Gumby.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let's go dress up like a character.
Right.
And then my spiritual eyes notices demonic images, trying to be playful. Now, I told her, I don't know about you, but it's a demonic image. Now, I don't know how many times a mass murderer or stalker has to do things in order for you to get the idea that that's what you're glorifying. Those people who have lost their mind and made pictures of knives going through people's bodies and stuff like it's laughing stock game.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her I don't find any of it funny because to me, like you just got them saying, you're opening up a door that you do not want to be a part of. Look what happened in Korea. All these people got dressed up to go die. It's messed up, right?
Lord forgive me. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at the situation.
I know. I get it. I get it. I know you're not laughing at them for dying, but
the way you phrase it, you got
pretty much. Imagine them. Hey, look how I look. I look crazy, just to go get stomped on. And I just don't like this. I just don't like this holiday, man, at all. Like, at work, they were trying to convince me, oh, man, you should dress up as a character. And I kept telling them, listen, man, I am not dressing up. Come on, man. It's just and this is what they say. But I'm a Christian, too, and I believe in Christ. And listen, I believe in Jesus Christ. And I don't find anything funny about dark images. Like, I don't find nothing. I'm 1 trillion times against any form of wickedness.
Yeah. The thing is,
that's how I look at it. I can't be in the middle acting like, oh yeah, it's okay, let's go after the party.
Right.
I just can't be like that. Maybe back in the days when I was a kid and I didn't understand things, or when I was spiritually inept or didn't have spiritual discernment. But now, imagine you do all these things, and the rapture comes, and you're left in Halloween.
Yep.
For the 7-year tribulation.
Mm-hmm.
I had a dream one time. It was me and my mom, and I think it was my oldest brother. And this is when I used to live in an apartment. My dad was in Iraq. That the moon turned into blood. And then when the moon turned into blood, the car stopped working. So me and my mom got out the car. I couldn't remember what happened to my brother in the dream, but I remember that everybody turned into zombies, and they were like, "All hell, you know what I'm talking about?" Yeah. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't respect it.
Of course.
So for me, I remember running for my life in the dream because they were coming after us. After the moon turned red. So, and I knew in the dream that I had got left behind. It was one of those type of dreams. And so to me, I rebuke all of it, man. I'm not into it. I don't think it's funny. And then they give you candy for little kids. Because, they use kids for everything.
Yep.
They use the innocent to corrupt the innocent. It's wild to me, man. It's just like the LGBTQ popping up in elementary. Why does the LGBTQ need to be in elementary school?
Or twerking in a restaurant.
It's just weird to me. Like, who are you to come into somebody else's child, try to form their mind and try to mislead them? It's really wild, man. It's really wild. So yeah, I don't support Halloween for nothing. I don't care for that holiday.
All right, here we go. I'm going to play a little bit of the video. Not the whole thing, because I think it's like 40-something minutes. But I'll play a part of it. And You guys got to remember, people who have converted to Christ from witchcraft and Satanism and all that, they confirm and testify that anytime a Christian or supposed Christian would celebrate Halloween and have the kids celebrate it, they would like celebrate like if they won, you know what I'm saying? Like a huge battle. Like they'd be like, ha! And they would laugh at those same quote unquote Christians who were celebrating, you know what I'm saying, Halloween. And they were like, this is great. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't have to do anything. They're doing it to themselves, opening all these portals, you know what I'm saying, for demonic activity and all that. This is awesome. That's how they would look at it. And they would laugh and mock and just be like, you know what I'm saying? Just completely just make fun of like Christians who celebrate this holiday. But yeah, all right. I'm gonna play the video right quick, and then we're gonna give our commentary on it real quick, and then so on and so forth. Boom. Okay.
Obviously, most of you know we are in the Halloween season, and ritual season begins, as I've said many, many times over the years, October 13th and runs to the 31st with Samhain, Samhain, whatever you want to call it. I always say Samhain, but I should say it's pronounced Samhain. And we know that this is when the veil is the thinnest, right? The reason that the holiday is celebrated is because this is when rituals occur. They get people to partake in rituals by partaking and obsessing over Halloween. And in the year we are in now, 2022, we have never seen the celebration and the acceptance of this holiday like we do now, where people are waiting all year. I mean, it used to just be Christmas, which is pagan in itself, but now it's seemingly on par with Christmas as far as being celebrated by people, including Christians. Now, I'm not going to tell you how you should live your life. I'm not here to tell you what you should and shouldn't do or how you should or shouldn't raise your children. I'm just here to tell you what the meaning is of this. And you could look at it, you could roll your eyes, you could look at it and say, well, that is the meaning, but I don't do that, so I'm not partaking in that. I'm just dressing myself up or my kid up in a costume. That's your business, not mine. Even though people try to think that I'm trying to push things onto people, I'm just trying to share it with you. A lot of Christians inadvertently celebrate Halloween and have no idea the origins of it, and I'm going to show you that. But I think that this clip to start with is one of the best to sum up what Halloween's about. And this is from, of course, Halloween 3.
This is the best ever. A joke on the children. You don't really know much about Halloween. You thought no further than the strange custom of having your children wear masks and go out begging for candy. It was the start of the year in our old Celtic lands, and we'd be waiting in our houses of wattles and clay.
I'm just stressed out. I'm trying to balance all that comes with being a content creator, from managing.
The barriers would be down, you see, between the real and the unreal. And the dead might be looking in to sit by our fires of turf. Halloween, the festival of Samhain. The last great one took place 3,000 years ago, and the hills ran red with the blood of animals and children. Sacrifices are part of our world, our craft, witchcraft. To us, it was a way of controlling our environment. It's not so different now. It's time again. In the end, we don't decide these things, you know. The planets do.
That's really what Halloween's about. But to get into deeper detail, I'm going to show you a documentary where you can see for yourself all of the origins of this. Where
it's funny how, whether it be in movies or TV shows, they put the truth out there, but the way they put it out is in such a way where they make it look and sound like funny,
like it's innocent.
Or like it's innocent, or like it's too crazy or too wild or too fantastic to be like true, right? And people are just like, well, it's just a movie, or it's just a show, or it's this and that, and they just shrug it off or just kind of like wipe it off, dust it off, like, oh, it's not really what it's about. That's just a movie or it's just a show. But they give us a little bit of information of what's the reality of things, and it's up to us to study things and analyze it deeper than what we see it for, or just take it for face value.
It comes from, the rituals behind it, why it occurs. I've covered it year after year. It's important to constantly cover it and to also understand, for those of you who have children, over the years, they used to need Halloween to abduct children. They needed it because there was, not everybody was going and getting abortions. Not everybody was partaking in these holidays, and they used it as a way to abduct. You remember in the 80s and 90s, a lot of children went missing. They'd be on the side of milk cartons. Covens have grown so much over time that they are able to get these blood sacrifices through actually having witches and people who are in these covens breed children for sacrifice. That's what they do now more than anything else, is that, along, of course, with Planned Parenthood. But for a time period, Halloween was very important to them because abductions were running so high. There were so many stories in the 80s and 90s of children going missing, trick-or-treating, going missing. That's where Stranger Danger and all these things came about. Now it's like people look back at it and they laugh, which is really sick to me because we're talking about children being abducted. But the world we live in now, people find humor in the sickest of things, so it shouldn't surprise any of us. But here is a documentary you can watch for yourself on the origins of Halloween. I recommend you share this with others so they at least have an idea. And again, I'm not telling you what you should or shouldn't do. There's people out there who are like, look, I put a costume on, I go to a door and I get some candy. I don't even know if people trick or treat anymore because it seems like they don't even partake in that. Towns don't even have trick or treating anymore. But people still, are into the holiday. They're into the gore. They're into the horror movie. They're into the demonic possession movies and all that stuff during the time period. And again, I just want to make people aware so that they know this is the origins of Halloween. And remember, during this period, while the veil is the thinnest, there are lots of spells being cast on Christians. So it's important to stay prayed up, to stay in the Word. And of course, if you have pets, these things still happen. Pets go missing during this time period. People think I make it up. Go around your town and tell me you don't see signs, in the beginning of October till the end of October into November, where people are missing pets. People aren't abducting other people's pets because they're like, look at that, look at Joey's puppy. It's so cute. I have to have it. Why don't we just go to the store and get a puppy then? There's tons of puppies and cats that need homes. No, I want his. They get abducted for ritual sacrifice, not because people look at the animal and they want to take it. Cats and dogs, do dogs run away from home? Yeah, that type of stuff does happen. 9 times out of 10, they find their home. They find their owner. Right? People put up signs. They're like, oh, yeah, I found your dog. It showed up in my backyard. Or is anyone, especially with the internet now, people can share that information. But a lot of times they never turn up. And people are like, I don't know what happened. I guess they vanished off the face of the earth. No. They're used in ritual sacrifice animals as well as children. And this is one of the things that people need to know about Halloween. But take a look at this documentary. I hope you'll enjoy it.
Halloween is a festival that conjures up images of ghosts, skeletons, black cats, witches on broomsticks, and little costumed children scurrying about the neighborhood.
Trick or treat! Oh my goodness! I'm there. And who are you? The vampire. Dracula's wife.
While there are some people who may be concerned about the origins of Halloween and its focus on blood, death, horror, and the occult, to millions of youngsters across the nation, it has been adopted as a time to pursue scary fun. It is an opportunity to dress up in ghoulish or fanciful costumes, to engage in the fantasy of being a witch or a vampire, ghost, or devil. Eager trick-or-treaters solicit candy door to door or bob for apples at Halloween parties. Others brave haunted houses and horror movie marathons, while the more daring visit cemeteries at midnight, play with Ouija boards, and hold seances in an effort to contact spirits of the dead. One of the biggest promoters of Halloween is the public school system. School-sponsored Halloween-themed activities often include dances, costume contests, carnivals, and arts and crafts projects. Education officials admit that more effort is usually put into the celebration of Halloween than any other holiday, including Christmas and Easter.
Is the stimulation of a child's sense of fun and fear all there is to Halloween? Or is there more? For many entrepreneurs, Halloween is big business, a major promotional event used to bring in billions of dollars worth of revenue. In addition to the usual costumes of cartoon characters for children, a growing number of outlets are featuring more macabre and sinister creations for purchase. This one well-known department store chain will sell more than $500 million worth of Halloween paraphernalia this year. And that doesn't include revenue from the sales of trick-or-treat candy. Costume shops such as this one are able to stay in business year-round as a result of the tremendous sales and rentals they receive during the Halloween rush. Farmers also view Halloween with an eye toward making big profits. Pumpkins are a traditional Halloween accessory used by households nationwide as jack-o'-lantern decorations. This one Southern California field of only 164 acres will yield nearly $250,000 to its owner.
Halloween is manipulated by the promoters of horror movies and videos as a major marketing opportunity. While horror films used to be synonymous with B movies and considered the conventional low-budget industry standby, today they account for nearly 20% of all of the revenue received by feature film producers and distributors. The success of the technical revolution in special effects has attracted serious film directors to produce well-crafted, elaborate horror productions. A recent visit to the Video Software Dealers Association exhibition in Las Vegas showed that the two biggest selling artistic genres were pornography and horror. Hollywood is continuing to capitalize on society's growing craving for the occult and demonic. The irony is that while these producers label such films as fun and make-believe, many of them hire practicing witches or Satanists as technical advisors who ensure the authentic reproductions and performances of rituals, sacrifices, spells, and curses.
I'm gonna rewind that so that everybody hears it again. Okay, the last 10 seconds of that portion right there, and pay attention, okay? Because for those of you out there who are, eventually gonna watch this and say, "Oh, you're exaggerating," it's just like the typical holiday or whatever. There's nothing really going on,
Sure, bud. Sure,
Yeah.
it is. You're glorifying Satan with this holiday, whatever you want. It's not even a holy day.
Nope.
It's not even a holy day. None of these images is good.
So check this out. I'm gonna put it one last time, and then I'll switch it over to the videos that you sent.
Halloween is manipulated by the promoters of horror movies and videos as a major marketing opportunity. While horror films used to be synonymous with B movies and considered the conventional low-budget industry standby, today they account for nearly 20% of all of the revenue received by feature film producers and distributors. The success of the technical revolution in special effects has attracted serious film directors to produce well-crafted, elaborate horror productions. A recent visit to the Video Software Dealers Association exhibition in Las Vegas showed that the two biggest selling artistic genres were pornography and horror. Hollywood is continuing to capitalize on society's growing craving for the occult and demonic. The irony is that while these producers label such films as fun and make-believe,
Here we go.
many of them hire practicing witches or Satanists as technical advisors who ensure the authentic reproductions and performances of rituals, sacrifices, spells, and curses.
People are so hyper.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys watch the rest of that so that we can cross over to other videos that Kiko sent me. But just know this, anything that has to do with horror movies and all that, if they take the time to contact and have witches, warlocks, sorcerers, and all these other people on the set as advisors to make sure that the authenticity of the rituals, spell casting, and all that stuff is being done correctly. That alone should be enough to make you like lift your eyebrow like this and be like, I'm sorry, excuse me, what? At the very least, that, you know? But, Theo, you have any words to say before I cross over to the next video?
Yeah, where we live, there's like, you ever heard of Casadega?
Of course.
That's a witch area.
Mm-hmm.
That's witch area.
Yep.
That's where sorcerers live. It's about 10 minutes away from here.
Yep. It's like less minutes away from here, I think.
Yeah, So
It's
for
like-
me, I ain't never been there, but I've heard about it. And a lot of people have gone through there. And if you're not recognized, they'll be spying on you.
Yep.
You won't walk out of there unless you're escorted out of there by somebody who knows the area. So, yeah.
Yep. We went there. We didn't go there. We kind of like drove around into it for a few minutes. I forgot exactly why. I think that Liang was just curious to see what it looked like or whatever. So I was like,
I don't care.
yeah.
I don't care because you're gonna put me in a situation where I have to do something, and I'm not trying to be like Black Adam. God help me. God help me.
But you kind of sense it right away as you're entering that whole little area, because it's a small area, but it's crazy. It's such a small area, but the heaviness, you can feel the heaviness of it, the spiritual nature. That it's crazy. It's insane. You can kind of like almost feel like the demonic activity around you.
Do you remember we went to go see Black Adam the other day?
Yep.
Where do you think those yells were coming from? From that area.
Yeah.
Because the movie theater is like 5 minutes away or less. If you know. At first I wasn't thinking too much about it.
Right.
Because you hear all the yelling and screaming and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But then as I sit here thinking about it, that's what that was. That's what that was. If you really think about it.
You might be onto something, maybe.
You're right. Because you were listening to people yell and scream, and it was 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 2 a.m. You hear all these yells and screaming and animals screaming, and I'm like, what the heck is that?
Yep.
Now, as I sit here thinking about it, it was close to Casadega. So yeah.
Okay.
Man, I don't like Halloween, so I don't care for it.
Nope.
That's not something I partake in. You know? I think it's a trash holiday. Not even a holiday.
It's not a holiday.
Whoever created it, I can imagine where it came from.
Well, we know where it came from.
I think it came from that Purim thing. You gonna show them the Purim video?
Yep. I'm gonna put this right.
What is Purim? Purim is the strangest and most upside down day on the Jewish calendar. It's a day that we dress up in costumes. We read a scroll called the Scroll of Esther about a story that supposedly happened in Persia with heroes and villains, and we eat strange food. It's a really fun day. My name is Menachem Krediver. I'm a rabbi, and I'm the scholar in residence at UJ Federation of New York. The origin story of Purim is actually within the Hebrew Bible. It's an entire scroll to itself about during the kingdom of King Achashverosh. Try that one on. That's a name no one, not even I, get out easily. Ruled over the entire world, as it were. And in that kingdom, there was a people, and that people were the Jews. And the Jews were distinct enough that they stood out to the king's advisor, who did not like when they wouldn't, through the personage of their one recognized leader, Mordechai, another hard one to pronounce, wouldn't bow down. Haman, and every time you say this guy's name, we're supposed to boo him. It's terrible. When he saw that Mordechai wouldn't bow, he told the king that there was a people that was not like everybody else. They have their own ways of doing things. They don't speak the language, and they should be persecuted and killed. And this foolish king gives permission. And the story is very intricate and very strange, but basically, Haman's threat against the Jews is encoded in law. And then there's a beauty pageant. And a woman named Esther, who happens to be Mordecai's cousin or niece.
This is the Esther story from the Bible. I don't know why they're linking that to like Purim, but okay.
Well,
Wins the beauty pageant, but
he's about to tell you.
Doesn't tell anyone that she's a Jew. So she becomes a hidden Jew and the queen. And as the threat unfolds against the Jewish people, she learns of it. She conspires in a very strange way, inviting the foolish king and the bad guy to a feast twice, and then reveals that her people is under threat. The king says, "How can I save you? Until half the kingdom, what can I give you?" She said, "It's the bad guy." And you hear the music in the back go, dun, dun, dun. And then Haman is hung on the same gallows that he had planned for Mordecai the Jew.
Butt.
And Mordecai and Esther become the heroes of the story, and they send the message everywhere. The way that we remember what Purim calls us to do is actually a very, very interesting phrase in the scroll. It says nafochu. It is a day literally of flipping it upside down. Purim's observances take many forms. One of them is reading the scroll of Esther, reading the Megillah, which has its own special melody. We dress up in costumes. We give each other gifts of food, of nourishment, similar to actually what happens in the story itself. And we give matanot le'elyonim. We find a person in need and we give them something. There is this one food called hamantashen, which are a triangular cookie, sometimes filled with poppy seed and prune. That's the way I grew up. But in Hebrew, they're called oznei Haman, which strangely means Haman's ears, as if he had triangular ears, like Spock. But it's also supposed to relate to Haman's hat, a three-cornered hat. We don't really know where the origin of this cookie is, but it becomes very expected. Bakeries, Jewish and not, know that around the time of Purim, somebody's going to buy this thing. And we enjoy them very much. We distribute them on Purim. Purim is actually designed to be exactly 1 month before the holiday of Passover. Purim is one of those holidays that doesn't really fly on the radar of almost anybody. Even most Jews don't know that there is a Purim. But if you know that it's Purim and you want to find a way to greet your Jewish friend, you could find hamantashen in a bakery and offer it as a gift. You could simply say, "Happy Purim." You might even surprise them because they might not know that it's Purim. And so you could say, "Did you know it's Purim?" Who knows?
This is
Who knows?
Might be laced. Those cookies might be laced.
Maybe. Don't trust them.
Yeah, man. Mental issues come in different forms, man.
Oh yeah.
Somebody trying to convince you of Halloween is a form. You know, like I was reading the comments.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know exactly what you mean with them drugs. I've done ecstasy, acid, weed, cocaine, alcohol. So yeah, shrooms. I've done all those drugs. And it was fun until your mind starts taking you towards the wrong way. You know what I mean? Then you have to stop.
Mm-hmm.
You have to stop and become sober. And then become sober-minded again, like renew your mind. And that's a tough battle to deal with because let me tell you something. To me, when I did ecstasy and acid, I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. It makes you feel alive, especially if you're around people that are positive and you're not around, negative music. Mm-hmm. And you're just listening to like techno music or, something that just like sounds spiritual. It takes it kind of wakes you up in a way. Like to me, it made me become spiritual. But then soon after, I found Christ, and that kind of started changing everything around me. It even used to make me terrified too. There's times where I get so high and I'd be so paranoid. You only like, it's fun. I ain't gonna lie, it's like a roller coaster. I ain't gonna lie to you. But it's also, you can lose your mind. You can lose your mind if you overdo it.
That's what happened. That's what happened to Frankie. I don't know if you remember Frankie from Abuelo's church back years ago. So the story is, apparently, he was a very gifted. He was like one of those like what do you call it? Those really brilliant, genius-minded students. There's a name for them, but he was like one of those gifted, like students, really extremely smart, especially with like numbers and science and all this other stuff, right? So apparently, he got invited to a party, and someone slipped him like acid in his drink. I don't know if it was like just a large amount. I don't know if it was like an overdose amount. I don't know if it's, but apparently it was enough that it fried his brain instantaneously. And from that point forward, that man has never been the same ever again. He's just one of those crazy people, the crazy town person. That's what he became off of that just one drink.
Off of one drink?
That they laced with acid. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That's wild.
Yep.
When I did acid, man, you could see the pores breathing. You could pick up an apple and see it breathing. You could pick up a leaf and see it breathing. The colors of the world look brighter. And
don't be saying too much of the positive side, because you'll make someone be like, "Oh, I might go try."
Nah, because you can lose your mind. You want to go lose your mind, go lose your mind. I can't control you from doing what you're doing. Right. But I knew when I was doing it that it was dangerous because of the patterns, the thinking patterns. You know what's crazy? Before I met Christ, I remember being so high, and I used to tell people around me that were around me, I was like, man, it feels like God's eyes are watching me right now. Like piercing me, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And only I can feel it. I can sense it. And that's what deterred me from ever doing acid ever again.
Thank God for that.
And but it's crazy because I always said I'd do it again if I was in the right state of mind. But now, because of what's going on in the world, it'd be too terrifying. Mm-hmm. Because I don't want to be left behind in some tribulation. Dealing with 7-year tribulation. Like, I'm good on that, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. Like with all the things going on with Russia and China, Ukraine, this country, all the sneaky stuff that's going on, I'm good. I'll just wait until I get to the kingdom of heaven to be naturally high. Because I have a sense.
That's
I believe that in heaven we're going to be naturally high, but we're going to have the type of mentality that you're able to control yourself. You understand what I mean? Because even being sober, I think when you're in the presence of God, there's a natural high that happens, and that right there is not going to be taken away. Because imagine if you lived in, like right now, we live in sin. We live under, because of Adam's sin, people are now dealing with sin, sinful behavior, the way of the world. Right. Like for instance, like whatever minimum wage is or whatever you're getting paid, like paying bills, getting up to work by an alarm clock, being there all day long like you're in jail, and then coming home 7:00 at night just to do it all over again, back to back to back. Trying to maintain a household, paying all these bills, like getting sick when you didn't ask to be sick. So, you're right, Emily. I believe in heaven we're going to be naturally high, though, man. Because there's something to it, man. There is something to it. On earth, we can't deal with it. Most people, when I was getting high, I was trying to escape the reality of this world.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reality is this world's full of darkness. So I don't understand how anyone can be so in love with this world that they're willing to give up eternal life for this. And this is a testing ground. This life is just a testing ground. That's why I advise everybody not to ever be afraid of death. Death is natural order. You know, we're all meant to meet God face to face. You know, you ever wonder why the Jews wear that little hat, the yarmulke hat?
Why?
Because it's to remind them that God is over them.
Interesting.
You know?
I hadn't
Now,
heard
the
about
thing
that.
is, now we don't walk around thinking, like, for instance, I was having a conversation with my homeboy the other day. And he was asking me, man, why don't you make this type of music and this and that? And I'm like, man, because think about it this way. And this is, we were getting the topic about these rappers. These rappers are so mentally ill that they have yet to realize that they're recording themselves talking about killing people. You understand?
Yep.
And I told them, I'm over here talking about eternal life and the love of God. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, if I sat here and started making a song about bang, bang, shoot 'em up, or, you know, let's go get high, or whatever, which I've done in the past, but I just never released it. I don't want that hanging over me when I stand before the Lord. You know? And then he understood me. He said, yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right. Because, you know, you don't want to do something that can potentially, you know, take eternal life from you. And that's the part that most people, and especially in this country, man, I feel like this country has been manipulated for so long, yo.
Oh, yeah. Since the founding fathers.
It's been being manipulated since the very beginning, since the inception. When you think about Puerto Rico, when they got ransacked, the people were being fed lies. So they didn't know what to do. You know? Even their own people, the police department, was walking around killing Puerto Ricans.
Mm-hmm.
Their own blood and sisters, their own brothers and sisters. Then you wonder why the people don't trust the cops. You understand?
Yep.
So, you know, this is most people use drugs around this season, man. Now imagine the Trump is hit and alternate universe comes in. Because ultimately that's what's going to happen, man. People are going to be drunk, high, then the rapture will hit, and then it's alternate universe time. Then they're gonna have to go through what I suspect is gonna be like Mad Max, probably times 1,000. You understand what I mean?
Yep.
So that's why I can't do it, man. I mean, I wish I can go back to the past and act like a fool, just to, because I remember when I was getting high, man, it was fun. I ain't gonna lie to you, but it's also dangerous. You can lose your mind. You can actually lose your mind, especially if you're not strong in the mind. You know. So that's my take on that. I just saw you put my thing there.
Yeah, someone was asking for your music, so I already had all the links together in a paragraph from some of our past podcast episodes on the description area. So just pasted it into the live chat for whoever wants to, you know, click on the links and check out Kiko's music. There you go. There's no excuse now.
You know what's crazy? I got 2 albums that are just sitting there that I won't put out. I think I got more unfinished songs than finished songs, but I also have 2 albums that are just sitting there that I never put out. And there's a reason behind it, but I'm going to keep that part to myself. Lately, I ain't been recording nothing. I've just been chilling. I've been relaxing my mind. Because
sometimes you need that.
When you use your mind like that to write and record, and you just, that's how you're spending life. When you want to actually go out to eat and stuff, go to Disney with your family. It took, like, you know how many times my family went to Disney without me because I was like, nah, I'm sitting here. And now it's like, I need to have more time with them. And that's how I look at it.
Yep. Well, I appreciate that, and I know you're one to, if anything, invite me out to do things more than what I invite you or anyone to do anything. So I appreciate it, and because we are in the last days, basically, or pretty much in that premise of the beginning of the last days, it's good. It's nice to cherish moments with each other, whether it be as like family or
Well, we have good conversations too.
Yep.
While eating. We live in the most dangerous generation, though, man.
Oh yeah, most reckless generation.
We live in the generation that if you can't see what we're talking about, then you're willfully being ignorant.
Yep.
Because even people that I've smoked out with and gotten high with, I used to talk to them about God. I remember, man, you always talk about God. And this is when I was searching for God too.
They're probably like, that's a waste of weed.
But we used to have deep conversations, man. And the thing is that they always enjoy the conversation. Like right now I'm sober and we sitting here talking about this. But when I used to get high, we used to have deep, like this is nothing compared to the things that was coming out of my mouth. I guess at the time, because I'm thinking so deep, right. That's what happens when you're on, especially if you're. When I was getting high, I was using it for a purpose. You understand?
Yeah.
I wasn't using it to go party, and to get drunker. I was using it and analyzing the world. You understand what I mean?
Yep.
I was using it and having deep conversations. And that's what led me out of it.
Yep.
Because I used to look around. I used to look at my dad and be like, man, you ain't never got high before?
Stupid.
No, right? My dad ain't even drank a beer. And he was a soldier. He was a sober soldier.
Yeah.
And when I look at him and I see how he's very wise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'll ever be as wise as him because I partook in the drink and he did it. And when you're sober and you're strong like that, mentally strong, that you don't need to pick up a beer, that says something about you, man. Most people fell for it, man. Like I fell for the okie doke. I fell into falling into getting high or drinking. But my father, my oldest brother, they never fell into it. They looked at other people and thought they were crazy. I don't even think you ever tried anything, right? You've never tried anything, right? So you have a strong mind. You have a strong mind compared to mine, man.
The first and only sip, not even a full glass, the sip of alcohol was I want to say like 3 or 4 years back. Son of a glitch.
What happened?
Dang. Lost a bid on eBay. Anyways, was a few years back, and it was with Moscato or whatever. And it proved my assumption. Like I didn't like the way it tasted. Basically spat it back out. I didn't even like end up drinking or nothing.
I don't think anybody drinks for the taste, bro.
Oh, I know they don't. But that's the thing. I can't get past that. If I can't get past the taste, what makes you think I'm gonna like? Or let me try it again and see if this time.
Your buzz.
You know what I mean? So that's the only thing I've tried, and not even, as you can see. But other than that, I haven't not tried because I can't stand. No offense, I can't stand the smell of weed. I can't stand the smell of cigarettes. I can't stand the smell of alcohol on people. It's unappealing to me altogether in general. Like so everybody has their own battles, right? And even things such as gluttony, as overeating, is a sin. Okay, that in itself is a sin. Overeating or overindulging, right? There's all types of different sins like that, but we all have our different battles. Some people have their battles with gluttony. Other people have, their battle with alcohol. Other people have battles with drugs. Other people have battles with addictions. Other people have battles with other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So while drugs and alcohol have never, ever, 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 ever been appealing to me, it's just like it don't even like make me bat an eye. I have battles elsewhere. I have battles and struggles with other stuff. But yeah, drugs and alcohol will never ever capture it's just not appealing to me in general.
Yeah, man. You're lucky that you never had a touch. And I would advise, I know you made a video saying, pastor, that son who's never tried weed, I'm gonna try it I would say I wouldn't even try it.
I'm just saying it's just not appealing.
Thank you, Mr. Uncanny. Who's Uncanny Valley?
Oh, he's a longtime supporter from this channel and the first channel. So
appreciate that. Yeah, you already know.
But
thank you for the comment. Nah, man, but going back, I would tell you it's not worth it. Because you know what?
I can see that.
you might fall in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
And be deceived by it. What do you think? That when I got high, I didn't fall in love with it?
Pretty sure you did. As each one of us, again, have had our battles, uphill battles with other addictions or other stuff. I understand how that's the dynamic of it, that you quote unquote fall in love with that. But it's the whole to each his own type of like scenario.
Everybody got a battle to deal with. And I grew up alone, really. Like moving every 3 years, moving from base to base to this way, that. I lived in Germany. You got to grow up with people. I didn't get to grow up with people, except for my brothers. But even then, like, you involve yourself with certain things because certain things get taken away from you. For instance, I grew up being very athletic, playing baseball, basketball, football. And when I got to Germany, none of that was happening. There was no baseball. There was no football. There was no basketball for me to participate in.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens? You're hanging out. You're going to downtown. Next thing you know, you're in the pubs. And, hey, have you ever had a beer? And I'm like, nah, but I'll take one. And that's how it starts. And then next thing you know, the people you're around with, we're so bored that you start smoking weed. You understand what I mean?
Question: How did he get past the terrible taste?
Because the whole point.
Did you trick your mind? Like, let me ignore that and just get past it.
The whole point is this: when das ist gut. So, was ist Leiden? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Hey man, keep all that spell casting to yourself. I'm kidding.
It's German. So
German vermin.
So
okay.
I met a lot of German friends in Germany, and they are the ones who used to take me everywhere. And we first off, when you take a shot, you get buzzed. It's uncomparable to a beer. So by the time you take like 3 shots, you're buzzed. So now it's easier to drink a beer. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And so now you're so drunk that you don't even care for the taste.
It's so
but I will agree, beer tastes nasty. But the whole point was to get drunk and walk around buzzed downtown.
Yeah.
Sneaking into the Schwimmbad, which is a swimming pool that they had. It's like Volcano Bay.
Oh wow.
So we used to sneak into it at midnight, and then walk home at 5 a.m. back to the base. We were just teenagers, man, doing this weird stuff or doing this stuff. That's how we had fun. That's why when I look at kids I think about myself and what I did. And I wouldn't want somebody to arrest me because I just got done breaking into the swim ball. Just because I'm having fun with a bunch of teenagers. You know?
Yeah.
I will hope that an adult who catches us would be like, hey man, y'all can't be doing this, you know? And just, you know, set us straight that way instead of trying to destroy a person's life. You know? Because that's what they try to do. You get caught, they try to destroy your life afterwards. You know? When I got caught in the Air Force for using ecstasy, their main goal was to try to destroy my life. They locked me up. They took away my rank. They took away my pay. They tried to do so many things to just try to destroy me. And in those moments, I was vulnerable. I was like, dang, this type of stuff can make you want to, you know, do harm to yourself. Because it's embarrassing, especially when you got to go back and tell your mother and father, yeah, I just got caught doing this. You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's crazy, bro.
Well,
you know,
I mean, let's just be clear. The same way I would want someone or anyone to respect my struggles and uphill battles with my addictions and other stuff is the same way I respect everyone else's addictions and uphill battles with whatever they're struggling with. So, you know, what I said earlier wasn't to come off as righteous or nothing like that, because God forbid, that's not who I am. That's not how I am. But it's just interesting to me to know, you know what I'm saying? Like how someone could like kind of be duped the same way I was duped into my addiction and uphill battle. Is interesting to hear the story or the origin story of how someone else, you know, the same thing happened to them with a different type of battle. I always find it interesting. So, but yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't judge all that stuff, man. You
Mhm.
just don't know what's going on with someone's personal life.
Exactly.
That's why it's just the best bet is just to tell somebody about the gospel.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Because that's the only way out. That's the only way out of things. We've all fallen into short of sin or fallen short of the glory. And we've all fallen into some type of sin.
Yep. No escaping it. If it's not one thing, it's the other. You know, if it's not one struggle, it's the other, and so forth, so on and so
'cause
forth.
Christ can set any man who's willing to be set straight.
Yep.
Someone who's willing to want to live, to want more out of life than just getting high, is going to sit down and analyze and see the perspective of things. Here we go with the sweaters. You know, in the past 2 weeks, I done bought 5 sweaters, yo.
Look at that.
But I was gonna ask you. The reason I haven't got one from you is because are they gonna be doing a special for Christmas?
There's a possibility. But there is coupons that I add to the site that you could use.
Okay.
That, you know, that might also help. See, like,
Because I'm
10%
gonna get
off
one.
your order.
I'm gonna get one, but you know, I've been meaning to ask you that, yo. It just always slips my mind. It always slips my mind.
I think David just bought this one a couple days back. This one right here.
Oh yeah.
Let's look at it real quick. By the way, as I'm showing this stuff to you guys, I'm only showing it because we are approaching wintertime, and you know, you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone by supporting us or myself through the store. You know, approaching wintertime, you know, you might want to get something warm that will protect you from like the wind and all that, right? From the chilly, well, you know, the chilly weather. And at the same time, you want to support us or myself, and at the same time, on top of that, represent a good cause, right? So if I can find the actual, let's see, doesn't say it on here, but I know on some of these items, I wrote down pretty much like what the brand is about and what it stands for. So, but matter of fact, let me see if I actually find the. I wonder which one it is. Maybe it's the first one. I wonder if it is this one. I know on some of the items, it kind of like says the mission of like the quote unquote company. So, but that's neither here nor there. It's just if you want to help a brother out, bless my person or the team, and at the same time stand for a good cause, a righteous cause, a brand that represents us being bright as diamonds, no matter how dark our past has been. Like we're just talking about right now. We all have a dark past, whether it be with addictions, whether it be through abuse, mental abuse, verbal abuse, so on and so forth. Our past does not determine our future. We decide where our future heads, and our dark past does not represent the diamonds that we truly are. So if you believe in any of that I just said, and think it might be a blessing to your person or a loved one or your family member or your friend, a neighbor, a coworker, someone who you believe is going through a tough time, this brand represents and helps be a reminder to everyone that, again, their dark past does not necessarily represent their bright future. So that's kind of like the whole point of like the brand itself.
I think people struggle trying to figure out what they're going to do with their life too. I think that's part of that's one of the main reasons why people get lost, trying to figure out. I look at my life, and I used to look at life and be like, I ain't flipping burgers, I'm getting in the military. That's how I looked at life.
Well,
not realizing there's 1,000,001 options.
That's the thing is people lose sight of opportunities just because they want to, pursue what they already know instead of like really exploring like what else is out there. What other opportunity might open doors that you didn't even know existed. To bigger and better things. But everybody has to find out for themselves.
See, I like that gray one. That one's probably the one that I'm buy.
This one?
Yep.
I have to fix the back though, because it's missing the logo on the back. But yeah, definitely I like this one too.
Yeah, put the logo on it before I get
it. Put it. Hold on.
That's what I like the most.
The gray one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites too, for sure.
That was nice too.
And this one actually has my signature on the bottom. So, not my signature, but typed signature on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Right down there. Bye. But yeah, man. I mean, this one has this. See how this one has it in the back?
Okay.
But man, I'm trying to find which one actually has the no, let me see. It's this one. You can keep talking. I'm just
sitting here thinking that I gotta go to work tomorrow and I'm dreading it.
Oh, sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm the one who has to wake up by an alarm. But I got good news. I just paid off my car.
Oh!
No more car bill for me. Thank God. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Jesus.
Right?
Hallelujah.
What's crazy is that for the past few months, they be sending me, trade in your car. I'm like, I ain't trading in my car. I'm about to have a free ride for the next few months.
Yep.
I'm about to save a lot of money with that.
Yep.
Shoot.
Agreed.
Why would I want to do that? Get into another bill? I'm good.
Shoot. Oh, look, it's gonna take us to the Instagram. All right. So look at this. A movement for the people who want to remind themselves how valuable they truly are, no matter what struggle they have gone through. Boom. Front and center.
That's true, man. Because I could have gave up on recording music years ago. I still sometimes think about, I'm done. But I figure until my last breath, I'm probably going to be recording music.
Probably.
You know?
I can see it.
It can be tiring, though. I ain't going to lie to you. It can be tiring.
It can be tiring because, like you said in the past, pretty much working alone for the most part, almost entirely on your own. So that could be extremely overwhelming sometimes, and it can tire anyone out. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
The fact that you have found the courage and strength to do all of that on your own says a lot.
It's called prayer.
Yep.
The only person I had to look up to is Christ. That's what's wild about it. Because had Christ not entered my life, I probably would have gave up a long time ago. Just because, the mental war that goes on in people's personal life and mine. Yeah. That's how I look at it. Because, you can't do nothing on your own like that, man.
Nope.
You got to have God on your side to give you strength where you can't find it. It's pretty. To me, the warfare in this world is outrageous. To be honest with you, especially in the mind. That's why, like, all this mental issue stuff, yo. I get it. I've seen the darkness that the mind can try to overtake someone's mind. That's why I encourage people to find Christ first, so that you'll be able to defeat the enemy that's trying to destroy you from within. See, I like that one.
I gotta fix this one too. But...
Yeah, you need to put the symbol on that one. Back. Oh, that one's nice too.
Why would...
That one is like white though.
Yep. The diamond kind of gets lost a little bit because it's like a silver-ish, light gray, but you can still see it though. But this is where you really can tell right here. Boom.
Keep doing your thing with this, man.
Appreciate it. All right, so we are going to start closing out because you do have to go to work tomorrow, and I don't want to keep you here any longer. I just wanted to remind everyone about the options here in the store. There is new merch coming out soon. I have the hats out. Someone asked me about hats. The only hats that they have available for me to like put stuff on is bucket hats. So if you're into bucket hats, they're already on the store. However, I'm just showing you guys this in advance because as a reminder, we're approaching winter. You need something warm, and if you're looking to bless us or myself and the channel, this is one way of doing it for sure. I don't know. If you can't afford it at the moment, at the very least, if you could share it forward with your family, friends, coworkers, etc., it'll help out a lot. At the very least, just to get the store some traffic and more awareness to it. That'll be a huge blessing to the team and my person. So let's keep that in mind. But yeah, all right. So I'm gonna stop sharing that. Put this away. Put that away.
Yeah, if you know anybody who has skin cancer or you think it might be skin cancer, go get checked. Don't let it get messed. Don't let it metastasize, because once it reaches the bloodstream,
Mm-hmm.
you're in danger. And I've seen horrific things.
Tell them really quick, just a few stories really fast about the most outrageous things you've seen when it comes to like skin cancer and all that business.
Oh, I wish I could show you a picture.
You show me a picture.
Imagine an arm
good.
being eaten alive. Imagine a little skin cancer right here that you let it grow and grow and grow. That radiation and all that can't do nothing. Next thing you know, your whole arm needs to come off. But what's dangerous is that when it reaches the bloodstream, you've entered a danger zone. You understand what I mean?
Yep.
So I advise people to always check their skin, check your moles. If you're a moly person, take a picture of your back.
Mole.
Right? And just analyze the moles every 6 months to a year to see if anything's changed. Yep. And usually things get caught early. But for the ones who don't catch it early, you do not want skin cancer to metastasize into your bloodstream, because then it's a dangerous. You just got months. Let's just say it that way.
You just got mugged up, mate.
Say what?
You just got mugged off, mate. Emily knows. Emily knows where that's from, yo. It's an inside joke between her and me. But yeah. Any last words that you want to tell the people before we officially close out tonight's team stream?
God bless you all. See you on the next one.
Actually,
God bless everyone. See you in the next one.
You want to know something crazy before you go?
What
is I might potentially be selling one of my comics for about $600. Yeah, I know.
Alrighty then.
I know. I've got nerves of steel.
Listen, man, I got X-Men cards that are worth a couple $100 that I ain't selling.
But no, I'm kidding about the listen though. It's not really selling for that much. I just wanted to see Kiko's reaction to a possibility of something like that. But no, that's not really going on. Listen, man, we all want and hope for things like that to happen. Is it realistic? I don't know. But all I know is, I've got nerves of steel. So
I just hope that with Elon Musk buying Twitter, the cryptocurrency starts going back up. She got nerves of steel.
Well, I've got nerves of steel.
Oh, you got nerves of steel.
I like what you just said about Elon Musk. He's taking over Twitter, right? And that might change the blockchain game.
You notice how Dodgy went back up because of him getting back on Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
goofy, man.
I mean, truth be told, he's got nerves of steel. So
yeah, I think we're all being set up with crypto. I think we're all being set up with crypto.
I mean, to a certain extent.
You know how I know? Because Carl Schwab and the Chinese government has been working on Bitcoin cryptocurrency since 1979.
Well, I mean,
in the background.
There's always proof and evidence to the trail that they leave, and it just, it's a reminder. It's a reminder that at the end of the day, they have nerves of steel. So
shoot, I don't think they care for people.
They don't. They really don't.
Well, I have love for people, and I understand you. Yeah.
All right.
God bless everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us.
I like you go. So I'll let you go and then say some final words to the beautiful, lovely people. But get your rest for.
Shout out to whoever heard my song. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yep. That was Uncanny Valley, I think, earlier.
Thank you for your comment. I'll see you guys on the next one.
All right. Boop, boop. All right. So Yes, God bless you too, in Kenny Valley, and we just mentioned you like literally a few seconds ago. But yeah, Tetris God in Kenny Valley, Emily Rose. Who else? I know John Davis was here. But I want to see the other people. Oh, Rod Plum. Rod Plum was here. Somebody else. Trust no one. Tracy was here. Terrence was here, obviously. Red Hood was here for a while. And if I forget anyone, I apologize. But I'm just going through like the ones that I see here on the list. But yeah, God bless every single one of you guys. Thanks for being here for as long as you have. We really, truly do appreciate it, especially with long ongoing streams like this, where it's not really constructed or organized in any specific way. These are just team streams, you know. These are not podcast episodes. Podcast episodes are way more organized and structured. These are just kind of like more like just chill streams and stuff like that. So the fact that you guys were here for team stream / chill stream this long throughout the whole thing, we appreciate it. That means a lot to us. But yeah, y'all have a blessed night. Y'all stay safe and blessed out there. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to talk to someone after this. But yeah, we didn't get the response that I was hoping for from someone. But it's all right. We'll keep working on it. Love you guys. Again, thanks for being here a trillion times. Stay safe, stay blessed. And please, the link, I'll put the link one more time in the live chat area. Understandably, if you cannot purchase anything right now, at the very least, bookmark the website to your browser. Save it for future reference, or pass it along to your family, your friends, coworkers, and all that. And hopefully it helps bless you and my person and the team. So good night, and until next time, JDQ from Vision Eye View TV out.